So, Mac Dog, what's up? How's it going, dude? Good to have you joining us. Justin Lynch, hello, how's it going, mate? Yeah, we've got this Hope County mod map today. Kenneth Russ, hey brother, hope you're doing well. Yeah, I'm not doing too bad, cheers. I've got, like, it's not really toothache, it's like above, it's where I assume I got punched in the face. And, yeah, every now and then it just kind of, yeah, is annoying. It's not too bad at the minute. But yeah, apart from that, I'm pretty good, cheers. I'm sort of wearing the headset a bit funny, so it's not squeezing on the side of my head. Yeah, MacDog, hey Wolf, how's it going, man? Yeah, I loaded this map like half an hour ago just to make sure it actually loads up, but as you can see, I've not been anywhere on it or anything, so... Roll by Choice, morning, how's it going, dude? Good to have you joining us, Mark Rowe, hey Mr. Wolf. How's it going, man? Cheers for giving us a heads up on... I didn't even check the Norway map in the end because of memory, but yeah, Mark Rose suggested like trying this Hope County one, and I was actually able to download it and everything. Billy Bob Joe, is this from Far Cry 5? I have no idea, to be honest with you. I don't think I've ever played that, so yeah. I don't know, I doubt it, but you never know, maybe the person who made this map could be a fan, or you could just be being sarcastic. I don't even know the game like well enough to know either way. I'm just going to quickly check out over here. I don't think it is a garage though. Sorry, I could just see it is in order. I apologise, I might have missed a comment or two there. Davis78, how's it going, Lone Wolf? Yeah, not too bad, cheers dude, how are you doing? Noob Girl, hi Wolf, how's it going? Cheers for joining the stream. MacDog, good, a little sick though, yeah, it's... Hopefully you feel a bit better, dude. Justin, hello again, had to back out, YouTube's giving me buffering tonight. Do you know what, just as I was turning the game on, I was like a minute or two late because when I press like the share button or whatever it is to click start broadcasting, it kind of shows me a little window of what I'm on. So if I was on now, and I was obviously I'm already on live stream, but if I pressed it I should see like a little window of this picture, but it's done it twice now. It did it a month or two ago where it just brings up kind of like a picture of a PS4 remote, and then I don't know, so I kept backing out and going back, like trying to restart the broadcast. I've done this one pretty bad. Yeah, and then I don't know, after a minute or two, oh god, where am I? Yeah, it brought up the picture. Well, I ended up, that's why the live stream would have started with this sort of picture, not just on the load star, because I don't know if that made the difference, but do you know what, I may as well just turn around. In fact, let's not. I assume, by the way, this is like a stock load star that you get with the map. Let's see if we can just kind of ramp it out there. Yeah, that's what I'm assuming. There'll be a garage somewhere on this map. Do you know what? Let's not. Just because I don't want to smash this thing up thinking about it until I have actually found a garage. You don't really realise how much those rear arches sort of stick out and catch on stuff until you try and zigzag it through there. The garage is in the top right corner. Cheers, dude. Is that... Yeah, thankfully that was kind of the way I was going to head first. That's why I wanted to check this little thing out. And I suppose I may as well go there, just see what's happening. Then yeah, I was going to follow this road over here and go for that watchtower, and then yeah, I might just get that one. I might end up zigzagging right across. But either way, that's the rough plan. So yeah, like I say, it's probably not going to be the longest live stream or anything tonight, but at least the comments appear to be going as normal again. Touch wood. Hopefully it's not, doesn't start being a dick like it was a few weeks ago. Kenneth Russ, what is the story behind you getting punched? When I was, what was it, about 14 and a half or whatever, it all originally started when I moved up to, I moved from like the Midlands to East Yorkshire, and someone accused me of beating up their mate, which I was like, yeah, it definitely isn't me, because one, I've never had a fight in my life, and secondly, I've only lived up here for about a week or two. yeah, and then it was like nothing really happened then too crazy, but sort of a group of guys that were mostly in the year above me. I think a couple were like maybe 2 years above, but yeah, just always like didn't like me since then. Partly, we just I was arguing with this guy over fucking that it couldn't have been me that punched his mate. But yeah, long story short, they never really wanted to fight me themselves, but then there was a nutcase in the school who was pretty massive and yeah, a bit of a nutcase, and they went and told him that I was going to jump him, which to me, by the way, down here where I live, and I lived back then, was technically, if you're going to jump someone, that means like shag them, but up there it meant more like I was going to jump them and beat them up. Yeah, so then he come up to me and said, oh, I've heard you're going to jump me, and then we got into an argument. He went to grab my neck, I smacked his hand off, and then he punched me. Yeah, just punched me in the face. Thankfully, in a way, he was left-handed, so it broke my right cheek. It was just, according to the doctors and that, they were just saying it was like, obviously it was a pretty good smack, but they said it's just sort of 1 in a million that if you hit the cheek at like the perfect angle, it just kind of pops the bone back rather than, yeah, so they just said it is what it is really, just kind of got a lucky hit in and broke my cheek in 4 places, so I've got like 2 metal plates in there and stuff. Yeah, that's about it really. It's not really a hell of a lot more to it. Mark Rowe, comments seem fine so far. Yeah, thankfully. I don't know what was happening the other week when it was being a dick, but thankfully it's fixed itself. I'm not sure, like, that's part of the reason I was spending last week. See, last week my cheek again was starting to hurt a little bit, but not that bad. It's kind of been like this for about a week. But what was it, probably about 10 or 11 days ago, maybe 12 odd or whatever, I was going to do, well, I was starting to do the crocodile review, and then, not that it really would have mattered because it's only 15-minute segments of video, but I went to save a bit of video, and it said my memory's full, so then I've been spending like the last X amount of days going through a bit of all the saved footage I've got on my PS4 from like all different games, but then I start getting sidetracked and sort of start watching some of the videos and all the rest of it. Yeah, so then even like last week I was just doing stuff like that, like going through the memory a bit and tidying it up. I'm not sure if that was anything to do with the comments, but just for the sake of it I kind of figured I may as well take the chance. Instead of doing a live stream, I may as well just spend the time trying to free up a bit of memory on my computer. Story time. Time for me to grab a Pepsi. And it was that supposed to be donut. I reckon it might have got you with the old autocorrect. Tried it earlier. I was, funny enough, replying to Mark Rowe, and I said something like, I appreciate the info, dude, but I must have spelt dude wrong, and it changed the word info to I, and then a space, not even a capital I, like a little I, and then FO. It was like, what the fuck are you doing, autocorrect? Like, what made you think that info that I'd spelled correctly needed to be changed to I-fo? Oh, it's just off its rocker. East Yorkshire represent. I lived in the Hull for a year, Rick Tate. Yeah, it's I lived, well, you might know it then, maybe Hornsey. It was like on the, yeah, on like the east coast, kind of 10 miles odd south of Bridlington. And yeah, so I lived there for 4.5 years, something like that. Yeah, probably more like 4.5. And it's got a lot of good memories from up there. In general, because I just used to live in a little village back down like in the middle of England. It was certainly more lively and everything up there. But in sort of a, I don't know, sometimes fun, sometimes not. But overall, like, pretty, yeah, probably, like, considering I only lived up there for 4 years versus most of my life kind of in the middle of England, probably a fair chunk of kind of stories and things I've got from up there, just because it was, like, a bit of a mad place by comparison. And again, they're fun, like, well, you'll know, East Yorkshire, they don't even like West Yorkshire, they don't like Southerners, They don't like the Scottish. They don't like you if you live on a different street to them. But at the same time, they could be your best mate and ignore all of it. It's just one of them where, like, it's sort of funny, but, like, beyond, like, nowhere near racism, and I don't even mean that as an insult. Like, they haven't got time to like everybody or give everybody a free pass in their own country. And to be fair, I'm kind of similar. If someone calls me a racist, the biggest offence taken by that is the insinuation that I like people from my own country. Because nobody gets a free pass. I ain't got time to start hating foreign countries. Got a whole entire British Isles to start eyeballing shiftily at. Kenneth Russ. Oh, heard Phase 8 coming to PTS 30th of August. Possibly Year 3 too. That's interesting. They're going to do another year, so there's obviously not going to be like a SnowRunner 2 for a little while. But still, maybe, hopefully, if they've caught themselves back up a bit in terms of getting all the cross-play and everything else working. Thinking about it, I should be able to buy mods now. Let's have a look. Yeah, oh yeah, sorry, this is one we're going to try as the... I think it was, yeah, Glitchworks. It's a version... What do you mean, not enough money? Well, let's go and sell some shit. It's not a problem, I've got plenty of shit to sell. Yeah, the doing a Year 3 thing. But at least as far as Phase 8 goes, at least if that's finally on, or just about heading to the PTS server, at least we should have it. Oh, so I've not even got... It's just given me a list of vehicles. It's not the end of the world, but it's a bit of a shame when mod maps do this, where they don't just give you unlimited amounts of money. I sort of get why they don't, but at the same time, if I had 10 million quid, it's up to me if I want to buy more shit or not. I could easily stick to, you know, like, I've got to do the missions first. But anyway, we can sell that thing. Gee, it's been so long since I've had to sell anything on here. Yeah, triangle, not even used to what button it is. Sell some of them. Crocodiles, not really worth a lot. Yeah, let's sell the bandit. Yeah, anyway, yeah, with Phase 8, at least it means, hopefully, I think it's normally about 4 to 6 weeks after it goes onto the PTS server that we kind of get it to the console, but again, I was sort of saying to Mark Rowe earlier, it could be longer, it could be shorter. Yeah, that's what she said. It's one of them where, depending on the feedback they get off the PTS server, and then as I was sort of saying, it's like, if they can be bothered to fix the bugs there are, or if they think they can just get away with releasing it with a few bugs, sort of, yeah. I assume they're going to be kind of leaning on the side of trying to get it out sooner rather than later, just in a business sense, that kind of would make the most sense anyway. Sell that as well. And that should do. I'll be able to buy this thing. And where's the goddamn horse? AGL horse. Where is he? Yeah, so I hope it's sooner rather than later, obviously. And then, yeah, Year 3 will be interesting. I'm certainly not against them doing a Year 3. As long as it's, like, they... I don't know. Oh, yeah, that was another mod I was going to try, is the Club, JBE Club. I believe that's fairly new. And then what? There was something else as well. Oh, yeah, it was some kind of Yar 87. What was it called? Like the Torok, maybe? Let's see if I can find it. Like, I sort of want to like the Yar, but it's a little bit underwhelming. But we'll see if like a mod version of it is any better. Well, I could just get a loaf and go around in that, to be honest. That's what I'd probably rather do. But yeah, we'll try this out because it sort of looks. I think it's all been armoured up and everything. I honestly reckon the Yorkshire is the best place in the UK, and I'm from Sunderland. I don't necessarily disagree or agree, to be honest. Just as in, when you say the best place, do you mean like, I don't know, all the sort of, not just the views, but the countryside and all that sort of stuff was nice. And again, plenty of the people were saying it's the same as if you live anywhere. I just lived in a quieter place down in the Midlands versus up there was kind of, in a bit more of a town where my friend literally lived on like about as far on one end of the town and I lived on the other end, not quite, but as near as makes no difference, on the exact opposite end. So every time we'd hang out, we'd have to go right through town in the middle of like, or pretty late at night. And to say it was some kind of escape from New York theme going on, where there's 100 different ways of going home, little alleyways, cut-throughs and all sorts of stuff. And then there was a shitload of gangs of kids ranging from like, I don't know, 12 to 20 odd, that are just kind of in little groups all over the place. And then it was kind of like, roll the dice, go a certain way home. Somebody might try and stab you or rob you, but not like, yeah, I don't know. It's one of them. If you got your wits about it, it's not like someone was trying to rob me or beat me up or something every night, but I kind of, you get used to, yeah, I'm probably not going to go down that alleyway at the minute, because there will be 20 people down there. And they'll just try and rob you just because you're there. At that point, it's nothing personal. They're just, because there's 20 of them and they all want to look like Johnny Rockhard in front of each other. So yeah, it was just a bit more of a crazy place, but just more because it was like, I didn't live in the middle of nowhere where you could kind of just avoid it all. Let's get that, so I'm trying to pay attention to two things. You need to open the trailer store, but the task isn't too difficult. Okay, cheers dude, I'll probably get on that one first, and we'll give this thing 50, oh no, 55s, yeah, so there's 2 tyre sizes. I don't think you can go much bigger with the tyres on this, because of the rears, where it's like they sit so close together. Not that it really matters though. If tyre grip's all good and everything, then it can easily, yeah. Bigger tyres in general are better, but certainly 55-inch is enough. That's definitely what she said. It's pretty cool, heavy wrecker. At least it gets rid of that frame mount winch thing, or in this case you can add it on, but it comes with like repair parts and all the rest of it. I'd rather just a sideboard, I suppose. Still, it's just the fuel's really heavy in this game. I was going to say, surely it's got a sideboard. Let's get one of them, bag a loaf up. In fact, just quickly, let's see if I can get a crane on it as well. There's kind of one sat in it. No, not just like a normal Russian or American crane or anything. Oh yeah, I take it back. We have got one, so that's good. Otherwise I'd have to build a crane vehicle to... Well, so I could build a crane vehicle, or I could just yoink the loaf in there. Which I'm happy to do. But it's anyone's guess how long that could take on a live stream. I use GGMS Money Trucks mod. Money Trucks mod. It might be the one that I used, I think. It might be that, I don't know. The ones where you can add like, it's sort of vehicles, but as you buy them it kind of adds the money instead. I just don't always turn the mod on. I believe, I'm pretty certain I've still got the mod, but yeah, I just don't turn it on because normally on my mod playthrough or my normal playthrough I've already got like 100 million on my normal playthrough, I think, and then about 40 million on my mod playthrough, so I just don't need it normally, to be fair. It was more like, yeah, my fault as well. I should have just put the mod on because I'm on a mod map. I didn't, like, it just doesn't occur to me enough that there's like a, I'm not used to having a cap on money anymore. We'll go with the active anyway. I've been watching Jimmy Carr, the accents. Yeah, Jimmy Carr is definitely a pretty good comedian. I'm trying to think what sort of comedians. Well, Patrice O'Neill is definitely pretty funny. He's rest in peace. He's dead now though. He's been dead for quite a while. Yeah, I'm trying to think of other... I don't know. Well, there's quite a few, really. Funny, there was another one that's dead, rest in peace, was Ralphie May. That was a guy who's pretty funny from America. To be honest, I don't watch a hell of a lot of TV anymore. Like, normal TV, so I kind of don't get a lot of them. Another one, funnily enough, who died not too long ago, rest in peace, was Sean Locke. He was pretty bloody funny. I don't know about his stand-up. I've not seen a whole lot of his stand-up, but the like on various TV shows and that, he's definitely pretty quick at coming back with like funny shit. And so is Jimmy Carr, to be fair. I was on whatever program it was, 8 out of 10 Cats Does Countdown or whatever, was a pretty good one. But yeah, Jimmy Carr hosts that, and he's definitely pretty quick-witted and all the rest of it. Season 8 PTS comes out on Tuesday the 30th. Steve Neely. Yeah, I appreciate it, dude. Yeah, it's good news. Good to hear that we're finally getting somewhere with it. See, I'd normally just go for the 100-meter one, which is the best one, and it's nothing to do with the mod or the modder's fault, but then you get 8 million trees that you've got to scroll through. Which is just more the game, they've just put a silly amount of... yeah, trees everywhere that don't really do a lot. David Kaiser, hey Wolf, how's things? Yeah, not too bad, cheers dude. How's things with you? How's the, yeah, it's the leg, isn't it, with the chainsaw? What, you right, decent? I was about to start a horse race. What's he doing? Moonwalking. Goddamn professional, that's what he is. Pitbull Dog 93, yo, what's up? How's it going, dude? Have you joining us? Just trying out this mod, GWC Atlas. It's basically like the Derry by Glitchworks. Dare it. Try and make out my loaf as a chunky beast. So this is like crane. Can't you just work? All you have to do is be a crane. Do. Restore crane. Get the goddamn horse. Rebel, big fat quiz of everything. I might have seen that before. I don't know like any particularly new ones though. I mean, again, it's mainly stuff on YouTube. That's the sort of stuff that, like, when I'm editing and all the rest of it, I'll put something like that on, and you know, obviously I'm not literally watching the video, but good old victory horn. Yeah, just as I can hear it, you know, obviously like, yeah, a load of comedians cracking jokes or whatever's sort of pretty good to listen to. Pack. I've only not been on this for like, yeah, about 10 days. I feel like I've not been on it for about a year. Well, for the most part, yeah, we'll start heading to that one. Where's the road? To be fair, I could... Well, I'll try and go the normal way. I was going to say I can just, for the most part, try and smash my way through the countryside. Bo Omega, yo Wolf, really nice to find you alive. Yeah, appreciate it. I'm still going. Whoa, what was it? I think I've missed the last 2 live streams. The one 2 weeks ago was just nothing really more than it was the middle of a heat wave. It was hot as fuck. And yeah, I just didn't really fancy sitting here for a few hours with the PS4 would be kicking out even more heat. I didn't even want to sit in my house. After I said I'm not doing a live stream, I went and sat outside. Just at like 3 in the morning. It was not that as crazy outside. It was just because there was absolutely no wind or anything. It was just hotter in my house, and anything that makes it even hotter, like yeah, having the PS4 running, it was just, there was no air moving at all. And it does make a difference. I've only really noticed it. I've even got a fan here, and when I have that on and it's really hot, the motor in the fan gets hot, and you can feel like that increases the heat. Because every time I go to my kitchen to make a drink or something and then come back, you can just tell this room is hotter. Just because, yeah, like the TV's on and the PlayStation's on and shit. And then, yeah, last week, a combination of things. Like I said, there wasn't a hell of a lot to do. My cheek thing was aching a little bit, so yeah, it's just a combination of, I was like, nah, I'll skip it and I'll just use the time to try and, yeah, delete a bit of footage and all the rest of it. Free up a bit of memory. Also, sorry, I might have missed some comments there. Rebel, I'm running through a more right now, 80% done. A more. What hour do you pronounce it? Was that the, like, Northern Aegis and all that? Is that like another playthrough you've started as well? Justin Lynch is on PS4 like me, we don't get the PTS. Yeah, sorry if I missed the comment. Well, yeah, basically what Justin just said. I'm on the PS4 and the PTS server, I believe it stands for Playable Test Server, but I could be wrong on that. That's kind of like for people on the PC, and I'm guessing the idea is obviously they play it, they give a bit of feedback to the company, plus the company can kind of test it in a public sense. And assuming everything's like roughly good to go, then I think they have to get like permission essentially to release it on the console. So yeah, it varies how often we get it afterwards. Shit, I looked and then I didn't. So I may as well go this way and see if I can go around that way. I could just smash through there, but just to see what's going on, I'll go this way. Watching paint peel off the walls, not enough entertainment for you. It's true. It's not peeling yet. Funnily enough, I do need to repaint at some point, but since I rent the place, I kind of don't really want to until I move out. Rebel, yeah, Cosmodrome, this playthrough is the one I started 2 weeks before main. Yeah, Cosmodrome, overall, I sort of quite like that map. Overall, it was a good season. There were certainly bits of it that are a giant pain in the arse, but it's kind of the nature of this game anyway, is to be something that's like inherently difficult / annoying to get around, but then that's, you do your thing and get around it. Yeah, so I may as well turn here, I suppose. To there. That'll do. Just because I assume the watchtower is going to kind of uncover most of this place. Rope Leclerc, you helped me out with some cars, and thank you. Help me out with some cars. Is that on this game, do you mean? Either way though, yeah, no worries dude, I'm glad it helped. Wish you could smash them fire hydrants out. Like, from years of playing Grand Theft Auto 5. The amount of times I smash into them, or used to, I've kind of got used to it now, but I used to smash into them, stop dead, and it's like, god damn it. Keep forgetting I'm not on Grand Theft Auto. David Kaiser, my leg is getting better, don't really need a cane anymore. Yeah, that's good. It's definitely one of them, it'll probably take a good little while, even when I fucked my knee up, and my knee was stuck at like a right angle for about a year in the end, because they just kept saying like 2 weeks, fucking taking the piss for ages. But yeah, it took months like after that to sort of walk normally on it. Even now, to be honest, it still gives me shit all the time. Funny enough, actually, speaking of my knee, I noticed a few weeks back, when it was the heat wave, I started to get like knee ache, and kind of like in my lower leg it was aching, and I was wondering if it was like the way I sit when I'm editing and all that. I don't know if it was that, but anyway, I kept trying to think, what the hell is it? Even when I went for a walk and then church bells went off in the middle of the night, I was just trying to sort of give it a test run, and yeah, I think in the end, I'm not 100%, but because I've had a fan on, because it was like a heat wave, I think the air blowing up, because it's kind of off to the left of me, to make it like further away from me, because I've got it on at the minute, but on a live stream, like, I don't want the noise of the fan, so I move it further away, but then it's in the left of the room, and I think it was the fan blowing on like my left leg all night. I honestly think that's what it was in the end, that for some reason it was just my leg was not happy about it. Rope with Claire, yeah. No, that's cool, man. I'm glad to help. That's what I like doing, like the review videos and stuff. Again, I still need to do... The main one is the crocodile review, which I didn't start the review like about a week and a half ago. I was just in the crocodile testing around before I kind of start getting the footage, and then yeah, I went to save a bit of footage and it said memory full, so I aborted the mission then anyway, because if my memory is nearly full, I seem to get more glitches in the video. Well, I suppose I may as well head to this one next. Looks like quite a nice map though. Again, I don't know how much I'll be getting done tonight, because it's probably not going to be like a 4-hour live stream or anything like that. But now I've got this map, obviously, like most likely next week and all the rest of it, or the week after, whatever, I'll probably mess around on this map for a bit, because it looks pretty cool. There'll be missions to do, a few hopefully new mods to test out. To be fair, so far I've not really noticed it, but it's not a bad thing. This Derry thing I'm in feels pretty good. Like I said, paradoxically, it's kind of the less you notice you're in a mod, the better it is in some ways, because it's just not doing anything that like makes you think about it. Car service, we'll check what that thing is and then go... Oh, it's got a road going up there. We'll go this way. I could again just cut through the trees, but I'll try and see if I can circle around properly. Only really need it when I go on long distance, like grocery shopping or taking my dog for a walk. Yeah, that's not too bad then. It's obviously worth keeping with you if you're going more long distance, but it's a good sign if you can sort of get around short distance without it. Strictly speaking, well, I haven't got a cane or anything right now, but one day that's probably where I'm going to end up, like with my leg as well. Like short distance is fine, but when I went for like a lap of the village, it was just to see, and it makes me leg ache at the end of it a bit. But I also think that it might well have been that the fan blowing on my leg. Which, as I say that, by the way, the fan is currently to the left, blowing on my left leg. Just because I learn the information doesn't mean I necessarily use that info wisely every time. I can't really put it anywhere else. I put it in like the other corner of the room, but I don't know. It's more convenient where it is. Rebel, does she know about it? Yeah, she's happy. Sorry again, I might have missed a couple of comments. Good on you. Alex, sorry, plays. Hi Wolf, when I first saw your content, I thought you would have 100,000 subscribers or more, but you didn't. But someday you will. I appreciate it, dude. I think one of the things that affects it a little bit is I swear and stuff in videos. I believe before I even started a YouTube channel, I've probably been some form of shadow banned. Not for anything crazy, just like comments that aren't even anything crazy, but you know what I mean. You know what YouTube's like these days, and have been for the last X amount of years. Yeah. Which I've probably been like retroactively shadow banned from like a comment I made years ago that was fine when I made it, but then they moved the goalposts. So yeah, I think to a degree it's like a combination of that. But either way, I appreciate it. Like, I still appreciate. It's still insane that I'm on like 10,000 subscribers. Never thought I'd be getting up to anything like that. Like I said, it's sort of a shame in a way that it's a bit of an anticlimactic time in the game for me to reach 10,000. I was thinking about this the other week. Like, part of me, I want to do something to mark the 10,000 occasion, but at the same time, I don't want to kind of, you know, like manufacture more hype than there is, if that makes sense. I'd rather kind of wait nearer to when the next part of the game is coming out or something. But yeah, I like long term. I want to carry on doing. I find it fun anyway, just doing YouTube in general. There's loads of things that are funny about doing YouTube videos and that. So yeah, plus like say chatting to all you guys and that, it's a good laugh. So I've got no plans to stop doing it. And if theoretically, if SnowRunner brought out SnowRunner 2 next month, I'd have a lot more content to then carry on doing and all the rest of it. But yeah, at the minute, I mean, it's a bit of a quiet time. I don't mind skipping, you know, videos and that at the minute. I don't want to do it to a point where I'm just making a video every day for the sakes of a video, and then they get a little bit kind of meh, bit bland, and just, yeah, I'm just doing it for the sakes of it. So I don't mind when it calms down a little bit. But when it's busy, like for the first year and that, I near enough did like a year. I did pretty much every day for a year, so when it's there, I don't mind doing it. She said, of course. But yeah, at the same time, for the last week in particular, I've been messing around, tidying up, sort of not rearranging, but you know what I mean, going through like my spare room with all my shit that I've thrown in there. Seeing what's actually worth throwing versus keeping and all that. Oh, my bad, sorry. Rebel, my baby's mama. So sorry. Barry. Oh no, I might have missed some in there, but what the fuck? It was more of a hump. Yeah, I was gonna say. Like, god damn. Thought my truck was trying to twerk or something. Phase 8 comes out Tuesday. Yeah, that's pretty cool. What is it? Yeah, we're not that far off there now. What date is it today? This fucking whole year has gone far too quick. The 28th. Well, I suppose it's only kind of just turned the 28th for me 3 hours ago, but yeah, this entire year, like, it doesn't feel like that long ago, but it was Christmas. And then earlier I was genuinely listening to Christmas music. Well, was it Brenda Lee, Rocking Around the Christmas Tree. I love that song. But yeah, we're already nearer to like this Christmas than last Christmas. That's about the only way I can measure my years these days. How many Christmases have gone past? I was saying though to Mum probably a few months ago, but as far as like trying to keep track of people's birthdays, my own birthday or anything, is for one, I'm up at night, so when I wake up, say it's like yesterday now, I woke up on the 27th of August, but then it changes to the 28th of August halfway through my day. And then when I go to bed, it's the 28th of August, but when I wake up, it's still the 28th of August. But then I also have insomnia, so I could just as easily sleep for 3 days a week, not 7. So then a week feels like it's gone by in 3 long days, but as far as sleeps go, that kind of resets you. Yeah, so trying to remember fucking what month it is, let alone what week and day it is I just lose track with it a lot. Like, weeks can fly by, especially if I'm not sleeping a lot, where it feels like a week's gone by, but it's more like a month and a half has just flown past. I don't know if it'd work the other way. Maybe if I had like 4 little mini sleeps a day, it'd feel like you're living fucking forever. Which I think, yeah, I had the map this way originally, wasn't it? Yeah, because there's that building I wanted checked out, so may as well head this way next. So get back down there. I might just rally my way down there, to be honest. Yeah, I'm going that way. Right. Asked to pay bills with one way to measure time. Yeah, that's true. Well, that, to be fair, is yeah. When it's time to pay rent again, it's like, god damn it. That's what sucks about February. Even though it's only a couple of days. Oh shit, I'm gonna have to go another way for this bridge. Yeah. It's like, obviously, well, with my rent, it's like, say, every calendar month. So, months at 31 days. They're the best months. Back on Fallout 4 again. I wonder why Guess Rifle is legendary versions, but Railway Rifle, bloody hell, I can't speak. I've never played Fallout 4. I've heard good things about it. Was that the one that was really buggy? Or was that Fallout 76 or something? It's one of them. I've heard it's a great game. At least one of the games was so buggy and all the rest of it. It was one of them where I sort of stubbornly refused to give that company my money. What, isn't it EA? It wouldn't surprise me. I knew this map would be good for a live stream. It's pretty easy going. Yeah, no, I appreciate the heads up, dude. It's nice looking map, to be honest. As I'm kind of chatting away, I apologise for anyone that wants to see me just concentrate fully on this map. Yeah. But the fact that it's a nice, easy-going map, I can just kind of chat away and pay minimal attention to the screen for the most part. David Kaiser, the most wonderful time of the year. If it's Christmas, I agree. To be honest, it's not like Christmas. I do like Christmas though, but I like autumn and winter more than... Well, spring's pretty cool. Summer's nice, but then every time, yeah, you get a heat wave. I don't suit heat waves. That's what I've learned. So autumn and winter, like snow is great. I love the snow. Like even driving in the snow. My birthday is November the 13th, so rarely on my birthday. Lands on Friday the 13th. Yeah. So it's one of them. I'm not the first person that's made this joke, but yeah, I'm not superstitious, but I'm stitious. I kind of... Yeah. Like if I was walking down the street and there's a ladder, I'd rather not go under the ladder. But if I really have to, I will. But still. I feel a bit like, oh shit. Hope a jet plane doesn't fall out the sky and kill me now or something. But I suppose it's one of them, like, when they name any day as an unlucky day, anything that happens to anyone that day is going to be considered, like, if I died, or I suppose, then say if a family member died, so I'm still alive to react to it, if they died on Friday the 13th, that just reinforced, like, yep, it's definitely an unlucky day. But at the same time, again, every time I see it's Friday the 13th, it's like, oh shit. I'll probably, I don't know, won't get a skipping rope and stand at the top of the stairs skipping, blindfolded, just to be safe. But any other day, blindfolded skipping could break out. Well, it can't actually, because I ain't got a fucking skipping rope. Or a blindfold. God damn it. Could be Hope, BC, Canada. Is that, yeah, this map? I don't know what region. Does it say anything? Just says Hope County. It could well be, though. Just an inch. All Bethesda games are so buggy. Fallout 4. Oh, yeah, it's Bethesda. Yeah, that's it. Which they used to be, like, a pretty damn solid high reputation company. But in fact, yeah, I believe it was probably Fallout 4 or the other one that was so famously buggy that kinda, yeah. Like, certainly I used to play Elder Scrolls Oblivion quite a lot, and there was definitely bugs in it, but nothing too crazy. And that was a bloody good game. Like, I could happily play that again now. Again, I'm just a complete thieving bastard on those sort of games. I care more about going around lockpicking everyone's house and stealing everything than the actual missions. Like, what was the yeah, like a Khajiit or whatever they're called, because they had some kind of lock-picking skills at the start. I was like Master Lockpicker, level 100. Looted the shit out of everyone. Even when I was playing like Call of Duty Blackout, and that was like the Battle Royale, I cared more about every time I killed someone, I got to sniff through their loot bag and see what they'd saved up for the end game. And I enjoyed that more than, like, I didn't really care if I won or not. I wanted to see what someone else's plan was. All the goodies they had saved up to try and kill me with. I look forward to Friday the 13th. It's one of them. I have various times in my past, 13's ended up being like a... Could be unlucky and lucky, but I've had things where it's like been good as well. Touch wood. See. Okay, going to lurk now. Take care all. Burrow Mega. Yeah, I appreciate it, dude. Cheers for popping in though. Big Bang Observatory. It's like off, is it Maine? Is it? Lowlands map? I didn't remember it because I made a joke about it being Big Tits Observatory or something. It helps. Old Dick keeps track of that shit. So I might as well fly probably along this road then. So we'll get back down there. Oh wait there. Turn off here. Put that marker a bit. Oh, fuck no. Trying to hit the right bit of the map. I think the old days of sniping on Call of Duty help. And then, well, we'll put 1 point there. Yeah, we'll see when we get there. It's quite a nice sized map as well. It's not like an absolute monster, but it's not like a little postage stamp map either. I could drive back around, but I believe I am just going to ramp off here. Alex plays. Wolf just now put icy hot cream on my skin instead of anti-itch cream. Yeah, that I know. Well, I sort of know the icy hot cream. I think you're talking about. That's what she said. Over here is like heat spray or whatever. I fucking hate using that. Like, there's times where it's theoretically good to use it, but it burns the shit out of me. It's the same as well when people use, like, when you're a kid and you bang your head or something, they give you an ice pack. If I held an ice pack on my head, I get like brain freeze on that after too long. I just can't do it. Like when my sister dropped, well, I say like a pickaxe thing, funnily enough, it's more like a hoe. Goddamn hose. They get me in the end. It was like a hoe on one side and it had two spikes on the other side, and it was the spiked side that fell and hit me in the head. I was lucky, really, thinking about it, that it didn't just pierce in my head. And yeah, it kind of, I believe, might have split my head open a bit. It obviously cut my, like, it went down to the skull and scraped along it. So I had like an inch or two split in my head, pissing out blood. And yeah, like I said at the time, my mum was cleaning out the freezer, so everything was kind of mid-defrosting. So I got a like a dishcloth thing and a literal bag of peas to put on my head. To be fair, it suits me fine, because going to the hospital is a fucking pain in the ass. And all they're going to do is, I don't know, try and glue it back up or something. It's not like my brains were leaking out. Thank God. I don't think I've got anything to spare. Alex plays it burns. Yeah, that's the shit, man. I can't. I need like a weak version of that heat spray and stuff like that. Funny enough, I think there's a spray they do now that's like a cold spray. I'd probably rather that one. I don't know if it solves the same problem though. Rohith Mohai, I hope I've pronounced that right. Apologies if I haven't. Hello, how's it going, dude? Good to have you join us. Again, if you've just got here, I'm on Hope County. It's a mod map. That's all I really know. It's kind of my first time on it, but it's looking like a nice map. Worth getting. First time catching you streaming. Oh, yeah, there you go. It's, yeah, a bit of a quiet time at the minute, just because I'm sort of waiting for the next phase to come out, but like I say, for the most part, I don't really mind missing videos, but I kind of generally like to do the live streams anyway. But yeah, 2 weeks ago it was just flat out too hot, and I wanted to sit outside. And yeah, a week ago was just, not that like I had to miss it, but like I said, between memory and then my cheek was kind of, yeah, aching a bit, I just skipped it. I do get painkillers from the doctors for my cheek, but to be fair, they've kind of morphed more into, they're quite handy for my knee. But the problem is I haven't really got anywhere else to go after that. Except for, I don't know, heroin maybe, but not really in the mood for trying heroin. 9 out of 10 crackheads do agree. It must be some good shit. I'm just, while I'm going along, I get used to, if you're ever exploring a new map and you get these little boxes, you may as well just, like, if it's a mission, yeah, it's just going to be collecting wood from that house. But if it's a mission, just accept it as you're going around, because then they all, like, rack up in this section. So then you don't have to go back to them just to find out what the hell the mission is. Before you can even start it, you've already got it, like, in the bank. And you can actually go onto the task screen and read, like, what it wants you to do and all the rest of it. I know I'm going the right way, I think. Yeah, I've just got to keep going then to that wiggly road. I was going to say, yeah, it'll be a bit of a pain in the arse trying to get through all them trees anyway. Rohith, Mohai, great content. I appreciate it, dude. Glad you're enjoying it. You shit. It was a close one. Yeah, no, I appreciate it. I suppose you should do a face reveal when you hit 100,000 subs. I'll be more likely to do it nearer, yeah. It's funny though, looking back, it's like, thank fuck I didn't say I'll do a face reveal at 10,000, because back when I could have said it, or would have said it, I would have said it on the assumption that I won't be getting to 10,000. So now it's like, yeah, I could potentially agree with 100,000. It's one of them though, it's not like, I don't know, I undoubtedly would be more self-conscious, I suppose, if I had a camera on me, but I don't know. At the same time, it wouldn't really like bother the shit out of me or anything. At the minute, I physically don't own a camera to set it up that way anyway. And I've got, yeah, other stuff I need to buy and pay for on that before I get that on my list of things to do. But yeah, in the future, never say never, it's one of them. Did you look at Mod 69 Tilt Cab Special? I don't think so. I mustn't have, because I'd remember the 69 part if nothing else. I'll have to check it out though. When I went on it tonight, I had to delete some mods that I like. I may well re-download one day. But I just didn't have enough room, because now I've got this Hope County mod. This Atlas thing, it's about 100 megabytes, it's said, or something. It's not insane, but it's a reasonable chunk. Obviously well, when I turned the Hope County map on, it said like it ate a lot of my memory, but then as I was turning other mods on, it kept letting me turn mods on, even though it technically said that I was running out of room. So I'm just saying that if any of you do download like this map, it may say it's going to use like 2/3 of your RAM or whatever, but it just then kind of counted it like it didn't. It probably used like 1/3 or whatever, maybe 1/4, but yeah, it didn't use quite as much as it was making out. Oh, well, I'm just cutting across. So yeah, it's a dead end. I assume then I should have apparently gone. Oh, there's a little road there. I'm not bothered, I'll just cut through, but I was just curious, like, what official way it wants me to go. So I'm going to cut through. It's not gonna like it, right? I'll send in the goddamn horse if I need to. Grip onto a tree that was a proper tree, not just some random bush. Should be able to get there, mate. The goddamn horse would be up there in seconds. I was going to say, I'm not stuck on that bloody seen a tree stump. I don't know, I think it is more grip at the minute. Let's go into low gear, see if that does anything. Or is it just like my sideboard that's digging in? Yeah, there's the tree stump. No, it's still mostly grip though. Fencing me off. Is it going to work? Probably not. Well, again, loads of I'm professional, he knows how to get skinny. He'd get through there. We'll go left or right? Let's go left. Axel, same row here. Kenneth, Bartelba's Goliath mod is an absolute brute. Yeah, it's definitely I believe I might even have that on tonight as well. It's definitely a mod I mostly just sort of turn on out of habit. Yeah, it's pretty high on the list of mods worth getting, definitely. Again, pretty much all of, like, there's obviously loads of other mods and modders, but yeah, Bartelby, Fox CRF 450 Rider, JBE, AGL, Glitchworks, Mr. Buses. I've tried quite a few mods from all of them, and I don't think I've ever had one that was bad. There's certain ones I'm probably not as keen on, but it's nothing to do with like the modder's ability to make that vehicle. It's just, it's a vehicle I don't, you know, use as much or whatever anyway, but they're a perfectly good, workable, non-glitchy version of whatever particular truck it is. But yeah, stuff like the Goliath and that, I do like it. Like it a lot. Well, yeah, map done. At least it lets all the corners like already kind of discovered. I know they're in the like shaded out, but you don't have to drive like a radar trailer right up to here just to get the last little bits done. Well, I might leave these here for now then. What was the other mod? Oh yeah, where's the garage? Over there. Is it? No. Hang on, base. Maybe it was. I'm not used to it saying base. Normally it does say garage. Did I buy them already? I think I did. So we've got, oh yeah, the JBE Colob. We've got damn horse. I assume that's the vehicle I start with. What is it then, out of curiosity? Just to see when you start this map, is it completely stock? Oh, so it's got raised on it. So I assume as well got like the biggest tyres. That not necessarily, yeah, there's quite a lot that are locked. Levels, oh yeah, rank 6, yeah, you got to rank up and everything again. But it's obviously kind of slightly modded. Either way, it was good enough to start this map anyway. So do we get the Yar or the Colob? Probably get the Colob. So I might end up doing a mission. Sorry, at least it's often on sale on PSN. Why not just buy it? I apologise, I missed what game you mean. Still though, there is a Every now I've got games that every now and then I go onto the PlayStation Store or whatever and find like that Isle of Man TT game. I believe it was because the TT was on at the time. Yeah, it was like £1.89 or something, which was like ridiculously cheap, cheaper than a bit of DLC in this game. But obviously, normally, I don't know what it'd cost, but it might be somewhere between like 12 and 20 quid normally for the age of the game and all the rest of it. But yeah, for £1.89, like every now and then I just go through to see what sort of like they have some pretty cheap games. It's funny actually because like whatever it's called, PlayStation Plus or whatever, where I have to pay like 50 quid a year to be subscribed to it. But every month you get like free games that you can download. And one I got this month was Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2. So if you're on the PlayStation and you subscribe to like PlayStation Plus or whatever it is, yeah, that's the free game this month. I've not been on it yet or anything. I'm not necessarily saying I'll do a live stream on it or whatever, but it's one there that I might end up playing at some point. It's just more a bit of nostalgia, really, I suppose. Rebel, let's look at, yeah, Club JBE. Yeah, I was interested in this one. I've seen, I like those tyres, but yeah, they are all rated excellent, excellent, everything. Whereas these aren't. Oh, they're like the Zik 605R tyres. Not that it matters, but I just mean they appear to be like the in-game version, not like a customised version. Whereas they, I believe, are a customised version because it says excellent, excellent, excellent. Ah, there you go. Whereas those ones are the normal ones. So we'll go for this then, because they appear to be like some kind of custom setup. Autonomous, I wouldn't say no, it does save a lot of hassle. I don't mind getting the normal spare wheel. Oh, that's pretty cool. I've just got like other options. I'm not gonna, but still. It's nice. Oh yeah, you can't get a roof rack on this, can you? Well, you might be able to on a modded version, but I mean normally. Sorry, I have to go buy Wolf. I apologise, I missed your name there. But yeah, I appreciate popping in though all the same. Enjoy the rest of your night, whatever you're up to. A game that my parents refuse to spend money on a game, so I have to crack it. Yeah, to be fair, I mean, obviously, back when I was a kid, it wasn't like you could just download shit and whatever, but generally speaking, I kind of... It was like birthdays and Christmas, which on birthdays like late November, so kind of got like a month or two of like a double hit of new games, and then I had to ride out like 11 months of the next year. But to be fair, I could play games for fucking years, even with this game now, but especially back then, Super Mario Brothers. Then I remember, like, especially multiplayer, you could have like the little, like the tiny version of Mario and Luigi, and you're trying to jump on each other's head and stuff on certain maps. It was, yeah, years of fun. Alex plays, also before I go, Wolf, do you have the Monster Max mod? That's all I want to say. The Monster Max mod. I'm not sure. I'd say most likely not. I'm thinking of like the Truck Max Pack and all that. But no, I'd say yeah, I'm pretty certain I haven't at the minute. Oh yeah, what do I want on here? Probably gonna have to get a sideboard. The thing is, I can put a loaf on my head. It's one of the good things about the club. Does it even have a sideboard? Yeah, it must do. Got a red one for whatever reason. Looks nice though, I'm not complaining. Wish there was just a button that took you to the garage thing. A lot easier. I tried clicking the right stick on it then, but it was having none of it. What was I going to do? Oh yeah, first get a goddamn horse. Tim Carpenter. Is it Carpentier or just Carpentier? But like tier 1, 2 and 3 instead of... Yeah, anyway. That's funny. Just downloaded Tony Hawk tonight and played it a little bit ago. It's kind of fun. Yeah, it was one of them, obviously, back when it first come out and everything. Yeah, it was a bloody good game, but I imagine... I've not been on it at all, not clicked on either of them. I assume Tony Hawk 1 probably feels more dated by comparison. I know that kind of makes sense anyway, but I imagine Tony Hawk 2 would... I'm sure it was Tony Hawk 1 where like you couldn't do manuals and stuff to link tricks up and all that. I think Tony Hawk's 2, they just went with it where it's like, fuck it, just let people rack up like a 2 million score if that's what they're going to do. They're going to do it anyway, or they're going to get bored of the game and not play it. But yeah, just nostalgia-wise, it'd be pretty funny just to go and play on them again anyway. Like I said, video-wise, I don't know. Like, I'm not planning on doing loads of Tony Hawk skater videos. But you never know. Maybe if I'm on it one night and I just have a bit of a monster run. There's, yeah, the possibility is always there. But yeah, I assume, did you get the Tony Hawk game like from the PlayStation Plus or whatever they call it? I believe it was PlayStation Plus, but then they call it they've changed it recently. There's like a PlayStation Now or it was PlayStation Now as well. Now they've merged them back together, I think. And then there's like different levels, different tiers, funnily enough, of like the PlayStation Plus, I think it's called again, I don't know. Oh yeah, no. I got my Zix tyres, so I'm not even really paying attention. I could have fixed up goddamn horse a lot quicker than I've been doing. Oh yeah, I think if you get the spare wheel now, yeah, it gives you loads of stuff. Oh no, it's already attached, even better. Get a different colour. What one should we have? Yeah, it's an orange one. Right, will it let me click this? I don't know why it's not letting me do it that way. It might be because the collob's too close, maybe, but fuck it, we'll just do it that way for now, and then can this have a crane? Oh yeah, I was gonna say, I believe it could. Ah, it's fucking locked. Typical. See if we can get around it with a mod vehicle. Son of a bitch. Still hope. To be fair, even the KRS Bandit crane, that'll do. Not ideal, but in fact, in that case, move the goddamn horse over. I'm not sure if that's specifically this mod, or I remember doing it in the game in general. Like, while I'm whacking the handbrake on a bit quick, it kind of rolling forward still. That's the articulated version. It doesn't really matter, but I believe there's 2 versions of this. One is articulated, one isn't. I kind of generally prefer the non-articulated one. But the articulation on that isn't that bad. One day I'll figure out why it rotates everything and why it's the world's slowest rotation when you press left or right on the D-pad. I love Mario Party and Mario Kart. I grew up on the N64. Yeah, same here was part of it. And the N64, well, it was technically the second computer I had, because I had like the Sega Mega Drive when I was really young, but the Nintendo 64 was where I kind of chipped in birthday and Christmas, like, just said to everyone, can you speak to my mum, work it out. But yeah, that's what I wanted, was the Nintendo. I'll just put the loaf on backwards if I have to, but we'll see if the old trick of scraping them on something helps. Will do. Yeah, so that, I'm trying to think how old I was when I got the Nintendo 64. It was a rough ballpark guess, 7 or 8 maybe. But like I said, it was one of them because I had older brothers. Like, one of my brothers had the NES, one of them had the SNES, and then my brother Adam had the PS1, and then I got the Nintendo 64. And then I swear, yeah, by the time the PS2 come out, I think I was like 13 or something, so kind of the amount of consoles sort of slowed down, I suppose, really. Beast. We'll sort it. So you get a roof rack on a club. Get a goddamn horse. He's on. Completely worth it. Well, it will be if I tip. We'll save the day as usual. Right, missions. Oh yeah, we've got contracts as well. What are they saying? So we've got to go and get that. Oh, and refuel that. Okay. What else we got? I can't see the trailer. Oh, is it that trailer? Warehouse access and log trailer. So let's go and do that. So go and grab that trailer. Find a sawmill. And inspect in forest. What? No, well, either way we're going that way. Oh, so it's that road again, so is there any way to just kind of cut over here? What's this? Yeah. Oh, wait there. I'm drawing the line from the wrong end. Doesn't really help. Close enough. That'll do. Yes, it was free, PlayStation Plus. Yeah, it's pretty cool, really. I sort of didn't even think about it, and then a message popped up in my notification thing saying something like it was the last chance to get this month's free game, and yeah, I went and looked. There was obviously 2 others, I think, that I didn't bother getting, but yeah, when I seen it was Tony Hawk's one, I thought that's pretty cool for 2 entire games. That's where a little while back, I can't even remember now, but even though they're on my main PlayStation menu, well, I got Dirt 4 or 5 a few months back. Wasn't a big fan of that game. Can't even remember now for the life of me. But I have, yeah, every now and then I get one of those free games and just kind of download it just on the off chance. Worst case, I can always delete it again, but yeah. But while it's free, I'm having it off them. Mark Rowe. It's still called PlayStation Plus, but there's now 3 levels. Top one is £100 a year. Yeah, that's it then. So they've changed it back to Plus, but yeah, there's the different tiers because nearer the beginning of the year, I think it was around February time. Funnily enough, not too long before my internet went to shit. It was, in a way, kind of convenient that it did because I was just about to get I was considering anyway, getting the PlayStation Now or whatever it was called. Because there's various games you can sort of... A little bit like the free game it gives you once a month, but there was like a big catalogue of games, including ones that go back, like there was PS4, but then there was PS3 and PS2 games as well. And I was nearly going to get that. It was something like £8 or £9 a month to subscribe to it. And then my internet went to shit anyway. I was kind of umming and ahhing thinking about it, but yeah, then that happened, so it was just like, well, I can't get it at the minute anyway. And then by the time my internet got sorted, it was... yeah, I think they've kind of merged them back now to just PlayStation Plus, but like you say, with the 3 tiers. I'm paying, I assume then, £50 a year, I believe it is. And it wouldn't surprise, I'm assuming I'm on bottom tier of the 3. But yeah, I think a lot of games, they've kind of been limiting from the... You know, just kind of like saving them up. I think certain games have like disappeared from the PlayStation Store and all sorts, but then now they're kind of using that as a... to try and entice you into, like, I believe if you go for the top tier, that's £100, you get access to like old PS2 games and PS3 games, etc. Which, by now, they should have an entire catalogue of every PS1, PS2, PS3 and PS4 game. Near enough that's ever been made. Just because it's sort of like, why wouldn't they? But they won't, because there's plenty of us that would happily go and play old PS2 games that cost a £5 off the PlayStation Store over buying like a brand new 60, 70, 80 quid PS4 game, so... I believe that's why they don't, or they can then offer it as via like a subscription. But at the same time, worst case, I may look into it at some point, probably not right now, but eventually I'll probably get like, where I can go on to other games, because I suppose as far as making videos and all the rest of it, having like a big catalogue of games that I don't have to specifically buy every single game before I sort of can play it for a little bit. Kind of work out nice in some ways as well. As I've said before, in theory, there's loads of games. If one day, if I got a PC, so I can at least like record, I suppose, like footage off my TV and do all that. There's loads of consoles from back in the day that I'd happily get again, like the Nintendo 64 and all sorts of stuff, and have a go on some older games as well. K-Nick, like that JB club, but at times I feel it stalls easy. Yeah, I can see what you mean. It's not really stalled on me, but yeah, it feels like there's a bit of a flat spot at the low end where it kind of feels like it takes an extra second or two to kick in, and I assume if I go into high gear, it'll probably only be a matter of time until it stalls. Yeah, it feels a little bit slow to pick up the revs, but other than that, like torque-wise and all the rest of it, once you go in, overall feels like pretty nice. Yeah, pretty nice mod. I'm going to go back to auto just because I believe it does go faster in this sort of gearbox. Well, I know it does in, like, technically in the high range and that, but you rarely get up to the high-end gears, whereas this is, like, 5 gears, you normally do get up to 5th gear. There's one nice thing about this. See, though, like, the loaf clipping the tree there, if I was going to tip, as many times before, the loaf will hit the tree first and stop me from tipping. But beyond that, this collab in general is, like, one of the better weighted vehicles in the game, so even if you've got a loaf on the roof and you're tipping over the left and right, it's a fairly difficult vehicle to roll. Obviously the long-nosed Club, I've said before, is like got to be the best in the game for not rolling. It's more difficult to roll than not. That will tip me though if I drive the wheel up the tree. Yeah, it won't go too well. Is that, Mitchell, hey man, so glad to finally catch you live. I appreciate it, dude. Cheers for popping in and joining us. Like I said, there's not a lot going on SnowRunner at the minute, but yeah, this Hope County map is pretty nice, pretty cool map. And I didn't really, I'll have a quick look at the contracts, like how many is there roughly? So there's 3, yeah, it's got a nice chunk. What's that, 7 or something? There's another 6 odd. Another 4, and I'm assuming they're like constructing a paper mill, so they're probably pretty fat juicy missions as well. Yeah, so yeah, there's definitely enough to keep you going. Like I say, it's one good thing about this game, and even I've said it before, as much as I'll say it how I sort of see it, like in a business sense, there's not that much direct profit in for them to fix bugs and that in the game, but yeah, on the other side of the coin, to be fair, you get an absolute monster of a game for your money, like the amount of content on the game, and then on top of that, when you get mods, and you can get obviously all the mod vehicles and then mod maps, like, yeah, overall it's obviously well worth the money, really. It'd still be cool if they fix certain bugs, but as far as what some games can offer you, like I suppose we were talking about Bethesda or whatever earlier with the Fallout 4. Again, I can't remember if it's Fallout 4. I think it was, or Fallout 76. I've got in my head for some reason. But yeah, that was like famously like meme-worthy levels of bugged and broken. And it was not just that. Then they tried to release like a better version of the game. You know, like one that's like a special edition version, and you'll get sent like a Fallout 4 bag or like a helmet or something, and it turned out one of the chemicals they used in the helmet is like hazardous to your health. Just every aspect of like that release was just an absolute shameless cash grab, and yeah, it was pretty bad. Whereas like this game really isn't, I have to credit where it's due, it really isn't a cash grab kind of game. There's obviously a bit of DLC, but they could absolutely milk the shit out of DLC, like, by comparison. They could add a new DLC truck every week if they wanted to. And a company like EA would definitely be doing that kind of shit. So yeah, overall they're like pretty fair for a business. It's pretty decent, but it is still a business. So yeah, stuff like 2.5 years on, they don't want to fix certain bugs. But it is what it is. There's plenty of game here for the money, so overall I can't complain. But I'm going to anyway, because why not? Don't want to let them off easy either. I'll take that. I'm going back to like the middle of the map. I assume I can attach it and find out in a sec. Yeah. So supposedly this is a sawmill. It's obviously not highlighting as one yet, but maybe once I finish this mission, it might do. Just a link, that was 76, the online game. Fallout 4 was the most recent single player game. Ah, fair enough then. Yeah, it may have been that 76 then that was a complete... Just, yeah, everything about it was... They just went for the cash angle and, like, clearly didn't put enough effort in most parts of the game. Which, again, I've heard that in theory, like, if you can get over the bugs and avoid them and all the rest of it, it's, like, technically a good game. Phase 8 is supposed to go to PTS next week, so getting close to getting it released to everyone. Yeah, a few people have said that, but I appreciate the info. It's I don't know how long it'll take after the PTS, but yeah, it's certainly a step in the right direction. That's usually like the good news I'm waiting to hear, and then yeah, you kind of know, hopefully 4 to 6 weeks or something after that we're going to get it on the consoles. Mark Ray, there's a login mod map where for just one contract you have to deliver 450 loads, and there's 3 others just the same. It's a beast, but it's kind of funny. If you really want to do login, then that'll be the map for it. I'm not even particularly paying attention to where I need to go. That'll do. Figure out after that. I'm usually paying the bare minimum of attention anyway, so. Yeah, bug Bethesda. But no, I'm very pleased with the amount of content you get with SnowRunner. Yeah, well that's the thing, like I said, skip back probably 10 odd years or something, and more really. Bethesda was kind of renowned as a pretty solid company in that. Again, like I remember playing Oblivion, I remember Elder Scrolls Morrowind. I played it a little bit, I just more watched my mate when he had the Xbox, playing on that, watching him run around robbing everybody. Again, that was like the best thing to do on the game. Yeah, again, there was little bugs, but nothing like that crazy. But yeah, they kind of ran their reputation into the ground a little bit with the Fallout stuff going on. And yeah, like I mean, it's one of them. I'll criticise certain things about the game, but yeah, overall, it's absolutely like you get a shitload of content. It is worth its money, but there is still things they could fix, like little bugs. So as I said, I won't let them off for free because they are like a £1 billion company and all that. But all things considered, they have been pretty fair and non-greedy about the game. They could certainly dial up the greediness a hell of a lot more, so I sort of respect them for not dialing that up. I'm sure there's plenty of people in suits with yearly dividends and everything that would like them to. I heard as well, it's not like, it'd be a shame if it's true, with Grand Theft Auto 6, apparently they're making like, you know how it used to be, well I personally wouldn't say it's offensive at all, but you know what I mean, they try and sort of push their luck a little bit with certain things. Apparently it's going all kind of politically correct and all that shit. If it does, it'll probably still be a good game just to play, but yeah, it always like had a little bit of an edgy edge to it. It'd be a bit of a shame if they kind of kill it with political correctness. What a shitty word. I think the worst thing about that word is it's called political correctness. The most corrupt bunch of wankers in history. We have to call it politically correct. Based off politically correct, I should be able to finger interns with a cigar. And then bleach hard drives and all kinds of good shit. Dirt Live. Hello, SnowRunner. Good to see you back on YouTube. I appreciate it, dude. So yeah, good to be back. Like I said, as when Phase 8 comes out, there'll be more regular stuff to do. But yeah, long term, I'm not planning on going anywhere. I do enjoy messing around. Even on this game, again, it's one of them, as I was saying earlier. Like I could play this game for years to come, really, as long as there's more stuff to do and all the rest of it. It's just one of those games. I could play Grand Theft Auto 5 again today, and I could easily do a live stream on Grand Theft Auto 5, even if it was just like I'll spend all night getting police chases, seeing how many stars I can get, stealing planes from the army base. It's just one of those games that I could sort of never quite get bored of. You can if I played Grand Theft Auto now every day for the next few months or whatever, I'd probably, yeah, be like, yeah, sod it, I'll skip it for a bit, but it's just one of those games you could always pick up years later. Which, even when you get the quiet times, like, between the phases on this game, again, if there was enough content going, I could happily play the game, like, solid through for years and all the rest of it, but yeah, when it's, like, a bit of a quiet time and I don't play the game as much, it's sort of, nice in the sense of then when, by the time Phase 8's coming out, I'll sort of, like, look forward to it again, like it's a bit of a new game again. Got a bold life. Go around the other way. In fact, I don't think it'll work, but no, I was going to say, I've not got, like, lowerable suspension. I could sit there trying to ram it in, story of my life, but I won't. Just to be honest, because it's doing that sort of shit where I've had the game freak out on me a few times, and I don't want to blue screen it on a live stream. Completely overshot that corner. Yeah, you can sort of tell there, low end, like the fact that all the tyres aren't just ripping into the mud. I know the trailer's being the dick in this situation, but right at the low end, this there's not, like, all the torque available. Like now, yeah, I can see, like, what that guy was saying about it stuck, like, stalling a little bit. So we should be able to kill that tree. Happy days. That's why it's always good to know which trees are killable and which trucks can kill them. Hi Lone, sorry I'm late, just got back from firewood. Best Seaman 23. That's what she said. Yeah, no, I appreciate it, dude. Good to have you joining us. Yeah, it's all good, whatever you're up to. Not a problem. Mitchell, what's the next for your channel? Any plans on covering any new games? Kind of yes and no. It's one of them. I've not got any specific games in mind, but yeah, as and when I kind of come across a game that, like, part of it is sort of whether it's a relevant game. I mean that in the sense of, like, say I've got that Isle of Man TT game I got the other month. The game's been out 4 years and all the rest of it, so there'd be no point in making videos on that now, because obviously everyone's already done that years ago. Whatever videos need to be made for that will already be out there. Yeah, so it's kind of that really. Like, if I play games that are a little bit older, I may make videos on them in the sense of, like, you know, just messing around on the game, but I suppose it sort of needs to be a new game for where it'll make sense to make videos on, like, you know, how you do this. Like when it's, say, with SnowRunner, my first video was like how you turn the headlights on. So yeah, that's what, it's sort of one of them. It's kind of got to be, I don't know, sounds a bit cheesy, but it's kind of got to be more organic, if you know what I mean. I can't really just go, right, I'm going to pick another game and I'll do that one from now on. I sort of not just need to be in the mood for it, but yeah, a couple of different things. Like, it's got to be relevant, got to kind of, sort of got to justify making a video for it. But overall, generally I'm perfectly happy to carry on with SnowRunner stuff. Obviously, if they do Phase 8, it's definitely tailed off a bit now in terms of, like, how quick they get the next phases out and the amount of content per phase and stuff. That's why, in theory, for me, I wouldn't lie, it'd be pretty cool if they just did a SnowRunner 2. Like, if they were releasing SnowRunner 2 in the next month or two, that'd work out pretty nicely. But again, I'm not at the point where, like, I need it to be out as soon as possible. Like, if there's nothing there and no content to be made, I don't need to force it. But at the same time, yeah, if there was a game there and I got another game, I'm more than happy to make videos on other games as well, if you know what I mean. I'm not like absolutely dead set on only ever doing SnowRunner videos. But yeah, I just enjoy this game, so it's one of them that's very easy to make more videos on. Yeah, so I was kind of... I think we completed that mission. Yeah, done. Another one in the bag. I suppose we could do something like this where I actually need spare parts. Oh, why is it already tracking this one? I'm not complaining, but I don't think I did it. Fair enough, so I've got to drop them off there. What the hell's that? Oh, it's just a trailer. Why is that though? Oh, I bet it's got like vehicle spare parts or a cargo container thing on it. Right. I may as well go and get the cargo container first, get that one done. Where's the road up to it? Get that one done. Yeah, we'll give this a go. I'll either make this a last mission, or I'll have a look, I might do one more mission after. But yeah, overall the map, I like it. As I said, while it's quiet at the minute, before they bring Phase 8 to the consoles, I'll probably play this map again on like the next live stream. Sorry, enjoy the content, whatever game, video or live stream, all entertaining. No, I appreciate it, and it's one of them where I can't really go as far as to say, you know, I think my own videos are entertaining, but I at least, if there's some reason to make the video, that's what helps me kind of justify being able to make it. Like, I'd sort of, I don't know, if I just made a random video on just kind of nothing, I sort of feel, I know it's probably just me, but I sort of feel a bit like, not cheeky, but I don't know how to explain it, just sort of like, what was the point in me making that video? Like, whereas something like a headlight video or how to do this mission or this vehicle, a review video, there's kind of like already a predetermined purpose to making the video, so yeah, if that makes sense. Whereas, I don't know, it just sort of feel a bit odd to me. But again, I know that's probably just me being like overthinking it and all the rest of it. But I also am well aware, I don't think I can just inherently make any video and I'm kind of thinking, oh yeah, it'll be entertaining no matter what. I kind of get pretty conscious of the fact that I want, like, yeah, some kind of purpose to the video, so it's worth people's time to click on it if it's of some objective use to them. But nonetheless, like, obviously, yeah, if you enjoy the videos, like, I appreciate it. It's obviously a large portion of what makes it, like, worth keep making videos. If no one liked the videos, then yeah, there won't be much point in making them either way. So yeah, as long as you guys are enjoying it, then that's yeah, it's good. I appreciate it. Try the high-low gear, because I like high-low and all the rest of it. That's what I think over the last couple of years they've sort of nerfed it purposely. Like where I was saying as well, and that other guy was saying this feels a little bit iffy on the low end with stalling. I think they purposely make it like that to force you to use the high and low gears more. Because to a degree, back when the game Nearer first came out, you could just use the high gear to smash your way through most things. Sorry, I can see in the mood for it. That's what she said. That is true. She certainly did. Keenan, is this one map or a region of maps? I believe it's just one. I'll have a quick look, because I remember there did look something that resembled a gateway like there, but as far as I'm aware, it's just one map. Well, then again, wait there. No, it says click global. Let's have a look. Yeah. So it's only bringing up one, but... Oh, there you go. Hope County, North America. So it's not Canada, but they might have just named it maybe North America because you've got like the 2 regions. Yeah, so as far as I'm aware, it is just that one. Oh yeah, I'm getting a cargo container. Good job this is tall enough not to make me loaf do a limbo. I've done a limbo loaf before. Like I said, I think in that case, the collob's pretty tall. I'd need a bold loaf. The roof rack's just going to catch every time. I've already got that mission, whatever it is. Like a Cat CT680 or the 681, I can't really remember now. And there's another one there with a crane. Is that an old Fleet Star, was it, or something? Can't remember, one of the early game trucks. Again, sorry, I missed it. I just see maybe it was times or something out. Relive the past. I apologise, I missed some of that. Yeah, one map. Oh, cool. Yeah, so it is just one. I think having it come organic is the way to do it. Otherwise, you'll always feel like it's a chore. I would like to see your channel grow. No, I appreciate it, dude. That's the thing. Is sort of. Like, I agree with you. I don't want to. Yeah, just like every day make a video just for the sakes of it. It's not that I'm against making a video every day. Like I say, if the content's there to do it. Oh yeah, I've still got this bloody trailer with me. Right, I'll cut that loose about now. Yeah, it's like if there's something there to be done, I'm more than happy to do it. Yeah, that's what she said. But yeah, it's sort of. I'd feel at some point if I was just making a video every day just for the sakes of it, whether it's a busy time with plenty of stuff to do or not, that, yeah, I'd just kind of at that point be, you know, like, oh, guys, can you watch this video because it's another day, so I've made another video. I just sort of don't want to take any more of anyone's time up than sort of, yeah, just feels natural. Well, it's one of them, yeah, if the video's like has some objective point to it, then at least as far as like, yeah, the headlight video or a mission video, it's whether or not someone thinks what I'm saying is entertaining or otherwise, it's like at least there's some objective gain to them watching the video. So I sort of feel like, yeah, because it's like I appreciate people watching my videos, so I sort of feel better if at least there was some point to the video that hopefully will help people out. Then it's, yeah, feels like more of a fair deal instead of me just getting like part of the reason I've not monetized my channel, mostly because when it says to click monetization and that, they'll look at your content and I go off on all kinds of tangents every week. Like I'm probably best to just stick to being shadow banned. If I click monetization, they'll probably delete my entire channel. I'm surprised it hasn't been already. I mean, and that's another thing, is like, obviously any day they could just delete the whole channel over something stupid, but it is what it is. I'd probably make another channel in that case, but yeah, I don't know for certain. It's one of them. But yeah, I like, I don't know, if it was monetized and it was one of them where I'm sure it'd feel like if you're making money off adverts on each video, it's obviously like, can't deny there'd be a certain amount of temptation to be like, shall I just make another video? And yeah, whether the video's any good or not, like some people will watch it and I'll get some advert money or whatever, but all that all together is kind of like, I've got Patreon, but I don't really advertise it, but it's one of them where another kind of moral conflict for me is I really appreciate people who have joined Patreon, but I don't want to like build it up to where it's like, oh, I really appreciate it, as in, so then they'd feel like they have to carry on being on Patreon. I also don't want to make anyone who isn't on Patreon feel like they need to or anything, if you know what I mean, because like none of you really do. Obviously I appreciate anyone does, but I appreciate people just enjoying the channel in general, so it's, for the most part, it's sort of try and, yeah, not make it to where it's like literally monetarily beneficial to just crank out as many videos, whatever the quality of the video is. If that makes sense. I might just sound like I'm talking bollocks, but that's kind of the general thought process. But not just the only one. Like I said, with monetizing, like, I could just as easily click monetization and then they go, fucking hell, this guy talks a lot of bollocks. Best delete his channel. Carson Vanish, you should try the highway hauling mod map region. It's a great map and well put together region. The highway hauling map. I can't remember if I checked it. Is that like, you know, months ago that came out, or is that like a pretty new map? I could be wrong, but something about the name rings a bell. I might have been on it before. Is this a mission? Yeah, here's a good example. Just when you're exploring a map. Like, that mission's called Forgotten by Everyone. If I go over to tasks, obviously there's no mission called Forgotten for Everyone, or whatever the hell it was called. Only took me about a second and a half and I already forgot. But if you just click on it and accept it, and then now when you go into Task Giver or whatever it is, it's on there. Just so if I was on the other side of the map 2 months from now, I can click on that, I can already see that there's a flatbed semi-trailer, so I need a saddle low, blah blah blah. And you don't have to go and find the mission just to then realise that you've brought the wrong truck to the mission and you need to go back and get a saddle low and all that shit. But yeah, the highway hauling map, I think I might have been on it for a live stream maybe. I was gonna, like, I don't know where, I keep rotating the map the wrong way and all sorts. Where the hell am I even supposed to be taking this stuff? What mission am I even doing? Radio station, that was it. Oh yeah, I'm dropping it off that way. Well, that's not too bad, I was about in the right direction then. I don't know why that says radio station there, but maybe that's where you get the mission from. Oh yeah, it probably was, because I cut through it and I went round that way. Why the hell? Sometimes they need them markers you make on the map to, like, self-remove when you drove past it. Grubby Zebra. Didn't even realise there were mod maps for SnowRunner. Need to get back into this game. Yeah, there's quite a few overall, really. I'll be honest, I'm probably not the best one to ask on which are the best mod maps, because I've not really been on all of them. Just because, like, for example, now I've started this map, I've got 4 saves. My first save is my original game. The second save is at now Hope County, but before that it was like Lake Cope or whatever it was. Lake Cope though, that was a decent map as well, I quite enjoyed that. Yeah, the third playthrough is like a second version, sorry, my mod playthrough, and then the 4th save is like a mod playthrough part 2, where like just if I run out of memory or there's like a massive mod that takes up a lot of memory, I can just go and test it on that map or that save. So yeah, because of that I've only got 1 save that I can put different mod maps on, but each time I put a new mod map on I have to delete the last mod map I was on. And I suppose it was like, I believe it was Lake Cope was the one I deleted earlier to then load this one up. Yeah, because I was on that on a live stream like quite a while ago now, I sort of saved it on the off chance that if I go back on that map, I'm kind of, yeah, I don't have to go and replay the same bit again. And it'll sort of be the same now, and this map is a very nice map, so I'm happy to keep it for a while, but yeah, I sort of if I wanted to try another mod map next week, I'll have to delete this. So I kind of, once I get a mod map, I keep it for quite a while, really. But yeah, this Hope County is good. Lake Hope was nice from what I remember. It was I didn't really get any, if any, of the missions done. I definitely remember exploring the map and all the rest of it. There was one called, is it like Red Canyon? That was pretty cool. And yeah, I can't really remember a lot after that. Right. That's not too bad. Might run out of fuel, but I've got a goddamn horse, so shouldn't be a problem. Cars and vanish. Oh, that sounds interesting. Rebel, just got JBE Club. Check out the paint jobs. But yeah, do you know what? I nearly did. When I was on this, I nearly went into them and I just didn't bother because I quite like the like army camo pattern, but I should have really. I'll go back to the garage after this and I'll check it out. Rock there that it doesn't like going over. Bronson Lake Hope was a really good map. Yeah, from what I remember, it's like I remember sort of enjoying it. It was one of those maps where it didn't really matter for anyone, like in most situations, playing it. As far as doing a live stream, again, I just get a bit conscious of like I don't want to waste people's time, so I like stuff to be going on, and it was a little bit more of a difficult map to say explore than this one has been, which, like I said though, for the most part isn't really, if I was just playing the map in my own time, that wouldn't even be like a bad thing or a point to raise. It was just, I just remember it was yeah, kind of one of them. I didn't want to risk going the wrong way, falling down a mountain, getting stuck for 20 minutes, and then having to recover to the garage and sort of start from square one again. But yeah, it was a good map. That's why I kept the save for so long. It was only earlier tonight at, I don't know, kind of like about an hour maybe before I started the live stream. Maybe not even that I deleted that save I had, so I had room to yeah, load this up. Which I loaded it up originally, like, yeah, half an hour, 45 minutes before the stream started, just to check that it actually loads up and doesn't like immediately blue screen me or whatever. But touch wood, it's yeah, no issues with this map. Like I said, it's a very nice looking map as well. Just got a nice feel to it as you're driving around. The supposed difficulty level, I sort of say that loosely because it's one of them. Like they can raise and lower the difficulty just by adding more rocks and stuff in the way. But yeah, overall, like the pace of the map, the size of the map, the looks, the views, the terrain, it all feels very sort of nice and balanced. Rebel, it shows a light blue, but something else comes up. Cheers, man. I'll just get, yeah, service spare parts, get 2 of these done, and then I'll recover it to the garage and we'll check it out. So I'm going to be out of fuel either way anyway. See, it's bits like there where you can hear with the revs on this, it sort of feels, yeah, as if like the clutch is slipping. I've said it with a few other trucks in the past. Like when I just went through that water, it sort of slowed me down, but then you can hear the revs kind of start going higher, as if, yeah, I've just had a few cars back in the day where obviously the clutch is going, and it's a scrapper car anyway, so it's like there's no way I'm putting a new clutch in it. Ride that thing to the graveyard. Well, years ago, when my brother had his Nissan 300 ZX, the clutch was going in that at one point, and that was obviously because you could floor it, and it's like a twin turbo things would kick in. It, yeah, could potentially eat the clutch for breakfast. I remember when that was going for a while as well. And then yeah, he took it to some farm. Some guy was like, just fixes like Nissan 300 ZXs. He was the one who told my brother about, like, had AMR written on the back, and it apparently stood for Aston Martin Racing. I can't confirm that, but the guy who told us is literally a Nissan 300 ZX repairman that lived on a farm, and he had about 5 other 300 ZXs in the garage at the time and that. So yeah, it's one of them, like, I don't think he's blowing smoke up his arse or anything like that. And whoever did the car up, it was a bloody nice looking version of it. I need to, like, he didn't take many pictures. I didn't take many pictures of my car. We didn't really own, I know you owned like camera phones and that, but the screen was the size of a postage stamp, and it's made up of about 50 pixels, so I just never really took shitloads of photos about everything back then. It was mainly when I got my iPhone 4 in, funnily enough, August 2011, so my iPhone 4, happy 11th birthday, wherever it is. Yeah, I've kind of got loads of photos on that. That's why, like, that night I got robbed, I just wanted to get my phone, because, yeah, these pictures are like my brother's dog wearing a Christmas hat. Can't replace that shit. Can replace money, but can't replace a dog in a Christmas hat. And then now my phone, like my, yeah, it's about 6 years old now. iPhone 7, it's full of pictures, but before that I really don't have a lot of, like, yeah, I didn't really take certainly, like, not a lot of proper pictures. I had a few Nokia phones. One, yeah, I dropped in the toilet one night when I was drunk, and then I pissed on it, and then that broke. So I would have had pictures on that, but obviously they're long since gone. And I've got another phone that was a Nokia that my mate lent me because I pissed on my old phone. It was because I was on the phone to him. I think he felt responsible for ringing me when I was so drunk. Which he wasn't, by the way. It was me. I was the one drinking. Yeah, I've got that somewhere. I bought a Nokia battery instead. I couldn't even be bothered finding a charger to charge it, so I just bought a battery off eBay for like £5. And it arrived fully charged, which was nice. Oh yeah, just out of curiosity, refuel. Oh, it's just gonna, yeah, get it out the loaf. I was just seeing if there was, like, because it's a mod, if there was any, like, the spare tyre carries some or anything, but I don't think it does. Roof rack, 2,500. He's hung like a horse. Because I'm professional. See, that's why you get yourself a loaf. Would have been stuck here. Well, not stuck, but I'd have had to go and get some kind of vehicle from the garage and drive it down here to get fuel, but with a goddamn horse, just keep going. I think I am going the right way, but yeah, just best double check. Really doesn't like these rocks. I think there's like a, I don't know. Feels like it's more than just that rock in the road. Feels like the big rock on the left is kind of like got a bit of an invisible hitbox that sticks out a bit further than it looks. Not the end of the world, but sort of what it feels like. Been promoted to rank 2, is that it? He wants me to get to rank 6 for a crane. Either way, it's funny though, obviously for I don't know how long. I've not been used to having to get XP, or it ever even mattering really. Oh yeah, a picture of Bugatti. Funnily enough, that phone I was on about, not the one I pissed on, the one after that, was I had a video on that, of a Bugatti, like back when they first come out really. one overtook us on like nearest to where I live now on a bypass that was pretty new at the time. And yeah, me and my brother were in the tranny van for like landscape gardening, and at the time that was when he owned the Nissan 300ZX, which obviously a Bugatti would have ate it for breakfast, but it's got to be the guy said it was about 450 horsepower, which is probably ballpark about right, but when it was like peak twin turbos kicking in, that thing was fucking like torque wise must have had quite a bit. Like the M5 I owned was 507 horsepower apparently, and the torque was 384 pound-feet or foot-pound, whatever way it's supposed to be. Yeah, I imagine that the Nissan at like peak twin turbos kicking in was probably got to have been like 450 pound-feet or whatever of torque, because it was pretty violent at like the sweet spot. And yeah, it just would have been nice. We were in the tranny van. It would have been pretty cool if we were in the Nissan. Again, the Bugatti would have ate it, but it would have not ate it as much as it ate the tranny van. Oh no, not the Atlas, the JBE. Check what the paint jobs are up to. Yeah, so that phone I have technically got somewhere. I suppose there will be pictures on that, but I'd have to probably buy another bloody battery. That's the phone. It's still to this day. I've got a master key on my keys that used to open the bike locks that chained the ladder to the roof of the tranny van that I did for landscaping, and the on and off button fell out of that phone, and the master key I've got is the only key that you have to stick it in and turn it like you would start a car, and it starts the phone up. That's the only way to get that phone on and off. And again, like the battery, even the one I bought years ago, is probably swollen up and it's like a big fat dodgy battery by now. It'd probably just be easier to order a Nokia battery off eBay again and it just arrives fully charged and do it that way. But yeah, it'd be quite interesting to look through. Oh yeah, do you know what? I believe this paint job is on the normal collabs, but it's fairly new. It's obviously like gold chains, going for like the I don't know, like the Russian Adidas tracksuit gold chain type style going on. I don't think that is just for the mod version, but it must be a paint job that they added maybe in phase 7 or something, because over the years I get collabs every now and then and do them. I usually paint something different colours so I can have half a chance of remembering like which one was which. And I did see that paint job recently. I don't know why it's just showing up as blue there though. In fact, let's truck store. If I go and buy just a normal collab, we'll find out that way. Oh yeah. Oh no, is it gonna... Oh no, that's good. I was gonna say, is it gonna cock block me from buying anything from Russia? But they've obviously thought that out, because yeah, I'm on like a mod map, so I can't really just travel to a Russian map. I know there was the mod collab. Is it just... Right, so that's the JB one. There's the long nose one. Where's the normal one then? Or has it just replaced the flat face one with the JB version? Oh yeah, never tried that out. Might go for a quick spin in that yard then and then call it a day. That's the Zik. Oh wait, no, it's the Goliath. It's the Grendel. Ah, is it going to be cock blocked behind some level? Yeah, it is, level 22. Well, that ain't going to happen, but preview. That's right, game. Yeah, there you go. So it's, for whatever reason, it's doing like the blue square on the mod version. But yeah, there's like the paint job even on the normal ones. But like I said, they must have added it fairly recently. Rebel, no, not on original collab. Yeah, is it this paint job you're on about? Like I said, I believe it is, but I because I have seen it before. Put it that way, I've definitely seen this paint job like recently-ish, and that wasn't on a mod. Or like on mods, I've only just got that JB mod tonight. But yeah, I think it got added like probably phase 7, but they don't really tell you a hell of a lot. This game would benefit from like a kind of like the equivalent of a newsletter popping up like after each phase, just to directly tell you on the screen. It just pops up a message, says press X to continue, but it just tells you like we've added this, this and this. Because every now and then they do add stuff that just kind of goes under the radar, really. I like that colour. It reminds me of the Ford GT40 Gulf colours. Oh yeah, we'll a quick blast in this YAR quickly, but then I'll probably call it a day. Got a turbo engine, that sounds good. God. Just keep stop one. Sorry, but something else comes up. Oh no, that's all good. I just bought original, didn't get that. I don't know what the deal is with that then. I just know 1,000,000% I have seen that paint job before. But yeah, I'm not sure why it's not appearing for you. I don't know what's going on with that. Again, why are they that colour? I kind of like that as well. Does it stay like that? I don't know why. That looks quite cool. Kind of reminds me, you know, like that Marilyn Monroe painting, but then there's like 6 different coloured versions of it. I don't know, it reminds me of something like that. What does this have? Oh yeah, I have seen this one as well, yeah, with a bull. To be fair, it's normally people in the comments that... There's possibly someone in the comments that gave me the heads up that it was that paint job on the Kolob, maybe. Why did it just remove my odd looking tyres? Oh. Well, looking at the paint, oh, it goes anyway. I was hoping it'd keep the trippy looking tyres. High up. They're back. So I'll just say now, on the it's doubtful, but on the slight chance that this game freaks out and blue screens me, then I won't restart the stream because it'll automatically just stop the stream. So yeah, if that does happen, then yeah, I appreciate everyone popping in and joining me for the old live stream. This already feels nice, sort of engine power wise. It doesn't feel insane or anything like that, but it's got a little bit more pep to it than the normal one. That paint job was part of the tournament Saber did. How long ago was that then? Please, dude, just something I have it too. Because tournament, I didn't do any tournament. I don't believe though. So did we all get it? Rebel, I'm in garage now. Can't get it. Yeah, I wonder what the deal is with that then. MacDog, don't forget to like, guys. Yeah, I appreciate it. I don't really know. I appreciate it all the same, but I don't know what it physically does hitting the like button. I should maybe just YouTube sort of recommend me to more people and that. But again, because I swear and stuff, I think it's funny in the scheme of things. Like when I say more going back when I was first doing SnowRunner, and they were more just objective headlight video, blah blah blah. As it was going along, it's kind of like, right, I'll mess around, talk a bit more freely in the videos, and obviously started swearing and stuff. And I get why some people are saying, like, you know, I watch it with my kid, and the swearing's a bit of an issue, but then it's sort of one of them where it's like, by swearing, YouTube then doesn't recommend me to kids, so it's probably for the best in the long run, because there's other shit I say that isn't necessarily swear words, but it's probably not the most ideal content for young children. said, I've still got to explain me 17th birthday at some point. Problem is with that, like from a philosophical level, I feel like I'd have to ask everyone under the age of 50 to leave the room, and I'm not 50, so then I'd have to leave the room as well. I don't know if I'm really going to go and do a mission, but I'm certainly not doing that. Stop tracking. What the hell, which... yeah. Forgotten... oh no, it's the flatbed. I'll just have a little drive around in this thing and then we'll call it a day. It does, already though, I can tell it does feel like quite a nice vehicle. And even though it's probably a pure glitch, I do like the mad red tyres for whatever reason. I wonder what it's like tipping wise. It feels pretty planted. Like, but once it does tip, I wonder if it's a complete bastard to get back to its wheels. That's one of the worst things about the normal Yar. I have to say, this feels like it must have been weighted differently. It's probably going to go all the way over. Oh no, that's good. Yeah, so it does sit on its side. Let's see then if it's a complete dick to flip back over, or if it's pretty normal. Is that going to be a crappy tree that just pops out of the ground? Pretty much. Yeah, that's a bit better. Normally, I could maybe got lucky because I'm kind of like sat in the grooves on the road, but overall, the original Yar is a pain in the arse to tip back to its wheels. Like, it's not heavy. The Loaf, even other little scouts could, well, obviously the Loaf's goddamn horse, he can rescue everything, but even a normal, like, little scout could flip it weight-wise, but it just drags along on its side for ages. It's not got the best turning circle, but I don't think the original one did either. Overall, it does feel like it's quite nice. Certainly not overpowered or feels like silly or anything like that. It just sort of feels like how the Yar should, really, of like when it's just original. I think the main thing is from that the engine I put in said some in turbo. I think that's what's helped it a bit. Because I think the Yar in the normal one in the game is like, yeah, the engine's pretty, yeah. But in real life, I believe this thing can drive. Like, it floats and it's supposed to go across ice, and if you look at the actual front bonnet and all the rest of it, where the engine is, it's a pretty small bonnet. Like, I assume in real life there is a pretty tiny turbo engine or something in there. They're obviously not going to put like a big fat heavy V8 in there, because it's sort of designed to, yeah, go off on the ice and snow and all that, so I think being light is kind of the idea. But yeah, in the game it just translates as having like a bit of a pencil sharpener engine. And you know what, we'll head down this way just because I'm not actually... Yeah, we'll go to that town and drive... Oh wait, bridge is out. No, we won't. We'll go around this way then. Just to see what's going on over here, and then yeah, I'll probably call it a day. We'll check there. We'll kind of check down there, solid. Have a good morning, Wolf. What I tried to tell you earlier was that on Monday I pick up my wife's new car, 2022 Toyota CHR Nightshade Edition. Yeah, that sounds cool, man. When was that? On Monday, yeah, so that, well, near enough, like, technically tomorrow for me. You're about 5 hours behind, aren't you? So is it like quarter to midnight for you? Or coming up 10 to? Yeah, no, that's pretty cool though. I don't... a Toyota, I know, obviously, the CHR. I think I know which one you mean, but... Yeah, I'm kind of about 89-90% sure I know which car you mean. But yeah, either way, that's cool, man. It'll be nice. Brand new. Have that new car smell. No one else has ever driven it. Like, yeah, should be cool. Nightshade Edition sounds pretty good as well. Is that, what do you get with the Nightshade Edition? Is that like a colour scheme and all that, or has it got like various sort of add-ons as well? I wonder why the wheels are doing that weird red stuff. Again, I like it. Look cool. It'd kind of be a nice option if you could choose, like, have mad green looking colours and all that. I know that's completely irrelevant to the game, but I don't know why. I actually do like it, doing that stuff. CHR stands for Coupe High Rise, all black. Yeah, it's nice in all black. That's when I got my M5. I was torn between, like, in white it looked nice as well, but the reason, part of the reason anyway, I went for black. One, there was, my brother got a black M5. It would have been quite cool to both have black M5s. Secondly, in the end, there was more black M5s available in the price range that I was able to get finance on. But then the last thing that really sold it for me is because when it's in all black, you know, like when you shut the doors on the car and you got the bonnet and all the rest of it, you can obviously see like the line, like the gap between where the door shuts and all the rest of it, but with a black car it all just blends in very nicely. Whereas a white car, for example, you'd absolutely see black lines all across the car where the front door shuts, the rear door shuts, the boot lid shuts, the bonnet shuts, the bumper connects to the actual main bit of the car and all that. But yeah, in black it all just kind of like just blends in really nicely. Plus, in the long run, if I'd got a white M5, you get white leather seats, and they would have been a right nightmare to keep clean. Or I should rephrase that. I would have not. I don't know actually. I did, to be fair. I don't normally with cars, but I did actually. Well, kind of keep that tidy. The passenger footwell was often had like McDonald's bags in there and stuff. But I remember once when I took it for an MOT, and the guy was like, "Jesus Christ, you got loads of shit in your car," and I was like, "Yeah, well, I don't throw it out the window and litter everywhere." He was like, "Yep, good point. Can't fault you for that." I'm not like some environmentalist anti-littering maniac, but yeah, when I went over to the Isle of Man, you sort of notice it over there. For whatever reason, there's no litter in the Isle of Man. Just when you're driving around, it looks nice. Over here, you always see like a shopping bag blowing around in a hedge or something, and it doesn't look as good. But when I was like, if I keep throwing shit out of my window, I'm not really helping the situation. So then I started throwing it in the passenger footwell. Problem solved. And then back in the day, we'd often, yeah, run the car until it's dead and then send it to the scrapyard, which they had to accept with McDonald's wrappers and all. Oop. Killed this bit. I was just curious, like, is that? No, I can't. I wonder if you can ever change into that, or if it's for a mission. It looks too detailed to not be drivable. But is it just me? It sort of looks like a wider, lower, cooler version of the CK1500. I like the tyres on it as well. Have to check that out next time. Brilliant. I keep the loose items down in my car. Don't want to get airborne if I have to take evasive action. That's true. I do. I never really put anything yet high up, because every now and then I've seen like people that have crashed, and you know, like they've put a book. It's not something I'd often really have, but like a big book on their rear parcel shelf or something, and then had a crash, and that's come flying forward and smacked like the back of their neck and broke their neck and stuff. So yeah, I do agree that I tend to keep shit pretty low down on the seat next to me, or yeah, in the footwell or something. Like I said, it wasn't like, you know, a year's worth of McDonald's wrappers all thrown in there. It was just, I'd have McDonald's or something, which was more just an excuse to go out in the vehicle, and yeah, when I've eaten it, I'd throw it into the footwell instead of out the window. That was about it, really. And eventually, when I remembered, I'd stick it in a bin. Usually when I go to the petrol station, put some air in the tyres. There'd be a bin nearby. Banana Sam, you think all cars should go EV? Sort of yes and no. Like, no in the sense of there's something about the noise of certain internal combustion engines that just resonate with me on a very deep level, to where EV cars will obviously never do that. But the yes side of it is I don't specifically care. I'm not anti-electric vehicles. Obviously, like Tesla's case and all that, they can be made to go very quick, like 0 to 60 and all the rest of it, so yeah, that side of it. The only thing I don't like in general is how they're selling it to us as some like climate change disaster thing about to go on, when it's not really. They're just running lower on oil to where they'd rather stick a windmill in a field, make electric and sell it to you, but they want to sell it to you for more because they're making it out to be like some big crazy world-ending event they're trying to avoid. But other than that, like, yeah, the actual like electric vehicles in and of themselves, I'm not against them. But as I said, they'll never like the sound of like an old school American V8, or it doesn't even have to be like a big V8. Though, to be fair, the M5 I had, the V10, is just a rare sound, but it did sound ridiculously nice as well. And yeah, I mean, my brother's Nissan 300 was a V6. Yeah, pretty sure it was a V6 twin turbo. My M-Tech 325, that's a straight 6. That sounds nice. There's certain, you know, Subaru Imprezas, they got like a flat 4 or whatever, boxer engine type thing. Well, I suppose really it's Porsche sort of got like the, I believe it is called a boxer engine, but yeah, the that sort of thing. There's just like there's noises that internal combustion engines make, but yeah, for whatever reason, it's like more than just a noise. I was listening to it the other week on YouTube. There's a Mazda 787B going flat out down, might be like the Mulsanne Straight or whatever on the Le Mans track. And yeah, I could hear that right now and I'd get goosebumps over how nice it sounds. And I've heard it 400 times, but I'm glad we listened to it right now another 20 times, and they just sound, yeah, it's an irreplaceable sound. But if it's everything's got to go electric, then it is what it is. I suppose in the scheme of things, I'd rather be alive now than instead of, say, 500 years' time, when there probably ain't a petrol engine to be seen anywhere other than a museum. At least, yeah, until they start adjusting the rules more, but at least I still have the option, like I could go electric vehicle or petrol or diesel. Oh yeah, I'm just going to go down this road and then, yeah, I'll probably call it a day. Well, it looks nice this end, I'll be honest. I didn't really pay a hell of a lot of attention. I was looking though, I should have looked while I was there. So that says a collapse in that, but I don't believe there is a gateway, because there is only one map, but they may have left it open to where they may add another map and like link it up in the future. Nothing like the sound of a Cummins Big Cam 400 or an old two-stroke Detroit. Yeah, exactly, even them. I'm not that familiar with them, but funnily enough, the two-stroke Detroit, I watched a video a little while back of someone just let one, you know, like a runaway diesel, kind of did that to an old one that was getting scrapped. Yeah, even that's it. Like, it doesn't necessarily have to be some like race performance type engine. There's just something about the sound of, and I mean even more basic cars. We used to have, yeah, Renault Laguna. It's like a piece of shit. One of the bonnet catches was off, and the bonnet would flap around when you're going like 100 odd in it. And eventually the exhaust fell off, and ironically, it sounded so disgustingly nice when it had no exhaust. Like, it sounded like a thoroughbred Group B rally car, to the point where you're driving down the street and you'd see people being like, oh, like looking like, well, what's that? There must be some like rare Lamborghini heading this way, and it's just like, oh my god, no, it's us in a shitty Laguna. But yeah, even that, it was just a normal like 2-litre petrol engine or whatever. It sounded amazing without an exhaust. Add fake sounds like the 2023 Dodgers. Yeah, I don't like that, all that fake sound stuff. I think even in the newer M5s as well, they apparently like feed noise into the, what they call it, like the cockpit, you know what I mean, just inside the car. Because again, like say the E60 it had was like a naturally aspirated 5-litre V10. Sounded like a Formula 1 car or something, but newer ones have got like a 4.4 V8 twin turbo and that. I think especially with the turbos has kind of like nerfed the raw noise of the engine, so yeah, they apparently feed fake noises in. And I'd rather no noise than fake noise. Fake noise just really doesn't sit well with me. But it is what it is. I'm sure there's people who own cars that it's got fake noises, and yeah, I'm not anti it. Like, if anyone owns that kind of car, it is what it is. It's not like you chose it to be that way. But just from, yeah, I'd personally rather they just make the engine an absolute nutter. It's a shame, because if they had kept the E60 engine, it was like called the S80 or the S85 engine or whatever, they were going to do for the next M5, like I think it was, they were going to bore it out to like a 6-litre V10 or something like that. It would have been bloody interesting. But yeah, then obviously all the fucking climate change emissions bollocks. So then they went to a 4.4-litre V8, and I think now it might be a 4.2-litre V8 twin turbo for then like the next M5. I think it was the F10 shape that was a 4.4 V8 twin turbo, but it was supposed to be, yeah, something like a 6-litre V10, which from, yeah, I had a 5-litre V10 and it sounded just obscenely nice. To the point, I'm not even like, I don't particularly drive like a maniac and all the rest of it. There was plenty of times I couldn't physically get my foot off the throttle just because I needed to keep it revving all the way to like 8.25. From like, well, it sounded nice anyway, but sort of from 4,000 onwards to 8.25, it just sounded ridiculous. It sounded like the old school F1 cars. MacDog, that's sick, bro. What's that? Sorry, it was the M5. Yeah, again, I got it on finance. It was, I definitely, absolutely have no regrets getting it. It was a mad piece of kit. Definitely pretty pricey. Like, fuel-wise was the main thing. The thing used to drink like a fucking alcoholic. I think it was Irish. But yeah, it was absolutely no regrets on getting it. But I was talking to my brother the other week, funny enough, about it, because like I said, he got one as well, so we both had one, and yeah, I was sort of saying to him, like, I'd gladly, if I won the lottery or whatever, I'd get another one tomorrow. But at the same time, it's kind of, at the time when I owned it, because it's, the engine and the gearbox were, I don't think they're as bad as people made out, but they had a bit of a reputation for, you know, just the gearbox had explode or the engine would implode or something. Yeah, it was kind of every day you'd wake up and think, oh, please don't be the day that the engine implodes, because I barely have any money to put in the fucking fuel, never mind replace an engine on it. I did actually get an engine fault, long story, it was just like a garage misdiagnosed it and said it was losing compression and all that. It wasn't. It was something called like a negative ion generator that boosts the voltage to the spark plugs. But anyway, it was under warranty at the time, and then they were basically saying, yeah, you need to strip the engine down, and because it was under warranty, I was kind of saying to this other company, well, you crack on, as long as it's covered under warranty and I ain't picking up the bill, then do what you want. And yeah, they looked into it, and it was 25 grand, or 24 I think, to replace the engine, which was more than I paid for the car, but again, I had it on finance, so I hadn't even really paid for it myself. But at the time, that was when I lived in a caravan, so bills were cheap. I could basically afford an M5 and my caravan for the same price as like now when I've moved and I'm in a house and paying rent and blah blah blah. It's sort of worked out not that much different. So in the scheme of things, I'd yeah, living in a caravan with an M5 was great. I remember where I worked at the time. A woman who worked there, manager, who just said something like, I just can't understand why anyone would own a car that's worth more than the property they live in. I was like, well, because my caravan can't go 0 to 60 in 4 odd seconds and it doesn't sound like a Formula 1 car. I don't really give a shit, I live in a cardboard box. If I could have a cardboard box and a Koenigsegg, or a house and a bicycle, I'd probably go for the cardboard box and Koenigsegg. And it doesn't have to specifically be a Koenigsegg, but yeah, I like cars. I'd sleep in the car and then have a cardboard box. That'd be fine. Yeah, well, I can sort of drive back to the garage, but like I say, I'll probably call it a day. Overall, I will say though, this mod is nice. Can I? No, that is solid. You see if I could ram it out of the way. God loves a trier. Is that Trigger Happy Productions? Hello, anybody alive? I hope so. I must be, because I need a piss. That's one way you know you're alive. If I was dead, I'd probably just piss myself. Brilliant. Never played Far Cry, so I couldn't guess. Yeah, me neither. I've heard of it a lot, I've just never played it. I don't know why, it reminds me of dinosaurs. Is that even... I know I'm thinking of like the Torah game. Funnily enough, I had a dream again the other day about a Tyrannosaurus Rex, but it was it was not like the recurring dream from when I was a kid. It was just I was on an aeroplane, but it was landed on the ground. But it was like an aeroplane where the wheels are kind of half in the car, in the plane. It wasn't like a big tall plane on wheel stilts. And yeah, there was a T-Rex running around trying to eat me. I don't know why, I always have a weird dream like that. It's exciting though. Especially when you wake up and like, oh, thank fuck I'm not about to be eaten. But yeah, pretty exhilarating. I still vote we see, even when I talk about politics and that, it's like I don't give a fuck which side anyone's on. I just think now is a good time to pressure the government into making Jurassic Park as repayment for being such a bunch of arseholes. Like, if you said to Hillary Clinton, look, we're going to lock you up for bleaching hard drives, but if you make a T-Rex and a couple of Velociraptors, we'll let you off. I think we should chance it. I've been waiting since about 1993 for a goddamn T-Rex to be running around. Then we start wasting it. Like funding polar bears. Fuck that. Fund a T-Rex. Fund a T-Rex, put it near the polar bears, and then it's up to them. If they really want to not go extinct, you have to get their shit in gear when there's a fucking T-Rex running around. Liven them up a bit. My Freightliner just hit 680,000 this morning. I'm going to have to rebuild her in another 300k on the whole 2300. Yeah, it's a beast, isn't it? 680 in another 300,000. Just casually slap another third of a million on it. Stuff like that, though, I imagine just keeps going and going and going. That's again another thing that sort of ruins today's shit, is they sort of make it with planned obsolescence, where it's going to break at some point because they know you'll have to take it into their garage and pay to fix it. But yeah, old school stuff. I don't even know, not saying your Freightliner's old school, but they probably just, yeah, it's still in the built to last category, not built to break a week after the warranty runs out category. MacDog, my dad has a Mazda RX-8 with 600 horsepower super motor in it. That's nice, man. Mazda RX-8. My brother nearly got one of them years ago. So with like this sort of weird mini suicide door on the back, isn't it? Yeah, overall they look nice. Like, I quite like the look of them. Yeah, 600 horsepower super motor though. I'm sold. I'd have that immediately. Is it an old Supra engine or like the newer shape Supra? Or is it like an old... I can't even remember what they call the Supra engine now. Is it like a 2JZ engine, or am I thinking... Yeah, I think it was something like that. If it's an old school Supra engine, 600 horse as well, Yeah, oh, there you go, sorry, 2JZ, yeah, fucking hell. Don't know where I dug that from in my mind, but... Yeah, but that engine alone will be worth a bit of dough. Is it a twin turbo? That'll be fairly similar, funnily enough. Obviously, 600 is more horsepower and all that, but the Nissan 300ZX my brother had, that was a 3 litre twin turbo. Which I'm guessing if you got a 2JZ in that, is that like, yeah, the... yeah, 3 litre twin turbo. And the other question is it manual? No, massive single. That's still pretty damn cool though. That don't really matter. Well, an old school 2JZ super engine I'm already sold on. But yeah, massive single turbo, that's good enough. For 600 horsepower, that thing will be a beast. Yeah, is it... Have you got it up to like a manual? Like an old Supra manual? Because I was going to say, if you have, like, the manual in its own right is pretty fucking rare these days as well. Or were you able to sort of mate it to like the RX-8 gearbox? I get it in theory, but as far as yeah, I'm no mechanic. Manual Hilux, that's still cool though. I was just going to say, if it was the actual like manual old gearbox that you used to get with them, they're just pretty rare these days. But yeah, Hilux box, that's good though, because they're built like fucking bomb-proof, so... And you want something really that's going to be... I know Hiluxes weren't built to necessarily take 600 horse, but they're just built well. Like, they're notoriously indestructible. Stone Branson, who's sometimes in the comments, him and his family and all that, they've got a loaf that is kind of a loaf with the... Yeah, like the guts of a Hilux in it. Which, yeah, that thing must be... Sounds pretty damn good. But yeah, that does as well though. A 600 horsepower Supra RX-8 with a manual is, yeah, pretty damn cool. I bet that thing flies as well, because the RX-8 is not that big either, really, are they? Yeah, well, I'll probably call it a day then. I could happily sit here and chat away about old Supras and all that. Chat away for hours about that stuff. That's the sort of stuff I will say. If I was like Elon Musk rich, that's the sort of shit I'd own. Is like an old, yeah, an old Supra, or like, you know, the sort of Fast and Furious shape. I like the old square shaped Supra as well. I certainly wouldn't say no to one. But yeah, the one like that sort of everyone knows as a Supra mainly. Yeah, I'd own that sort of shit, like an old Nissan Skyline R34 would be cool as fuck, or any of the Skylines to be fair. Yeah, I like a lot of stuff that's like old sort of 80s, 90s stuff. There's stuff either side I'd happily have as well, but just when I was a kid, that's the sort of shit. Funnily enough, I was on eBay earlier, I was looking at, just typing cars that are way out my price range, but I was looking through Ferraris and all the new stuff, I was like, nah, and then found a Ferrari Testarossa and stuff. When they first come out, the Testarossa, it was a bit, yeah, with the looks. Now, I really like them. They've aged pretty well, I think. Justin Lynch, good night then, Wolf. Yeah, I appreciate it, dude. Cheers to everyone for popping in and all the rest of it. It's, yeah, pretty good night, pretty good chat. There's, this map is pretty damn good. I like it. So, yeah, when I'm on another live stream, I'll sort of focus a bit more on getting some of the missions done. Matt Dog's also got Ford Falcon with a 550 HP Skyline motor. That's nice, man. Ford Falcon, I've always wanted one of them. We don't really have them over here, but from like the Australian sort of V8 supercar racing, when I owned like Toca Race Driver, it might have been back in the day, like the Ford Falcon XR8i or something, I think it's called. But the shape of that anyway I just like, and then the fact that you got a 550 Skyline engine in it. So what is that then, like the... Is it the RB26 engine? Or something? Either way, as soon as it's Skyline motor. Again, sold. I would have it. Well, other than I couldn't afford it, but other than that, sold. Mr. Lone Wolf, sorry, I'm not as educated on regular cars as I am with heavy diesels. Don't worry, dude, I'm like an amateur enthusiast of certain stuff, but I really generally don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. I'm not like a mechanic by any stretch. Yeah, just kind of like enthusiastic amateur of just, yeah, I'll say though, I don't know diesel engines and all that very well. I've heard of like the, you know, like the Cummins engines and all that sort of stuff, but I really don't have a clue what I'm talking about with that shit. Not even like an enthusiastic amateur, just a straight up amateur when it comes to that sort of stuff. But nonetheless, I've seen, you know, diesel Cummins and all big engines like that on YouTube, seeing it in like, people have got them in obviously like American pickups. Rick Tates, thanks for the stream, SnowRunner. Best to you and yours. Yeah, I appreciate it, dude. Yeah, same to you as well. MacDog RB25. Is that, again, I don't know like too well with that. Is that like from say the R32 or the R33 maybe? Or is that like the is the one out the R34? Either way though, like I said already, as soon as you say Skyline engine, it's like, yep, cool, I'm interested. Matt Dog, it's an old 1966 XP Ford Falcon. Oh, I don't know that. Yeah, I'm probably thinking of something different then. Then again, yeah, Ford Falcon 1966. I might roughly know what you mean. I was thinking of something different. Yeah, I was thinking of like the Ford Falcon XR8 V8 Holden type stuff from Australia. Well, I don't know if it's Holden, but you know what I mean, like just that genre of like V8 supercar kind of racing they do. Mark Rowe, thanks for the stream. Glad you like the map. Yeah, I appreciate it, dude. Cheers for the heads up on. Well, it was you that told me the map, Hope County. Yeah, which I'd recommend to everyone. It's a good map, and that Glitchworks Atlas, the Derry, basically. Yeah, that was good as well. I was kind of chatting away while I was using it, but like I said, the fact that it just did what I wanted it to do, it was a good mod. It looks nice as well, for whatever reason. It suits it with the camo and all the tyres and everything. It looks good. Long haul, you say Ford Falcon, and all I can picture is the Interceptor from Mad Max. Yeah, that I like that. I've got a picture of that somewhere on my phone. Funny enough, I seen that a couple of weeks ago. Yeah, I'd love an old school, like, yeah, Mad Max car, or even the police cars they had in that as well. Like, all that kind of stuff, I just really like that shit. Yeah, my brother has newer Falcons. Yeah, no, that's cool, man. It's just all that sort of stuff. Just cars in general. I'm generally an enthusiast. Even if it's a car I don't... The only one I will refuse to like out of principle is a Nissan Micra. Even if someone's got an 800 horsepower, yeah, Ferrari engine or whatever, Lamborghini engine, it's just, I will refuse to like it out of principle. But it's not even fair. But that is what it is. That's the case. Other than that, even stuff that wouldn't normally be my thing, if it's just car stuff in general, I'm kind of happy for people that have got their own car thing that they like. It's sort of like, yeah, it's good. Check out 69 Tilt Cab Special. Oh yeah, I will do. Cheers, dude. I'll remember it for next time. The 69 particularly will. My dick will remember that. He's pretty good like that. You have to say credit where it's due. Even when you're talking mid any sentence, if you say an innuendo, it's basically your own dick that reminds you to say that's what she said. And the fact that he stays so vigilant on that kind of stuff, it's pretty respectable. MacDog, yeah, it's just any car stuff sold. Boa Omega, not for much longer. What's that, sorry? Well, before I ask, I was going to say, I'll go back to the garage, and I'll call it a day, because among other things, I could quite do with draining the main vein as well. It's still got its mad tyres. Yeah, sorry, I was distracted for a sec there. Yeah, I appreciate it, everyone. Boa Omega, cars equals freedom. Freedom equals verboten. Well, yeah, I know what you mean, as in the clamping down. I even heard over here the other week they're doing something like 50% of all cars sold are going to have to be electric vehicles and all this shit. Yeah, I'm not too happy about that side of it. I'll hang on to internal combustion engines and all that for as long as I possibly can. But at least after that, the cheapest way to enjoy cars is go on YouTube and stuff like that. Like I say, I was on eBay looking at cars that I'll never be able to afford, but even stuff like a Ferrari Testarossa, it was just nice to look at. I enjoy it for 5 minutes, and then it's like, yep, that's enough of that. I also don't have to pick up the bill every time a Ferrari Testarossa needs servicing and all that, so it's a very cheap way to enjoy cars. That Mazda 787B, I'll go and watch that in a minute actually after the live stream, and I'll enjoy the shit out of it, and I don't have to replace a Mazda 787B. Yeah, I love rotaries. I've got to admit, yeah, I do. There's no two ways about it, I do. I would happily have various rotaries. Funnily enough, I think that Mazda 787B is a rotary. Obviously, it's like a race crazy one, but yeah, rotaries are pretty cool. An old school RX-7, all that sort of stuff would, again, that'd be in my... I'd have a car collection like Jay Leno if I had the money for it, but it'd be random stuff that, well, it's not right. Yeah, RX-7 Skyline Supras, all that's just cool as fuck. An old Skyline. If you look at the original Skylines, they look nice as fuck. They're like just an old classic, like 1960 or 70 odd or something. But yeah, they look pretty damn awesome. Check the CHR. Yeah, do you know what? I will do as well, dude. I'll check that now. In fact, Bo Omega can reveal party when. Oh, cat reveal party. It's true. Do you know, I need to post a photo of them at some point. I need to get YouTube to ask me to add more photos so I can pick some from some other ones. I've got some pictures of them. I've got fucking nothing but pictures. That's what my phone memory is full of, is pictures of my cat. Pictures of my cat and memes. And then random pictures of like a spider on the wall and stuff like that. Brilliantly, I was getting ready to order a new car, but I'm stuck on the price. I can afford it, but should I, is the real question. Yeah, it's always a toughie with that. I'm a little bit the same when it comes to stuff like that. I'm sort of... yeah, I generally err on the side of like, well, I don't know, is it really worth it or not? It's a hard one to call, though. It's sort of, you know, how much you got to kind of weigh up how much you're going to enjoy it and all the rest of it versus like the cost of it. Is it worth it in the long run? But I'm not saying it is or isn't. It's just one of them you sort of personally have to decide on, really. Steam power cars may make a comeback. You never know. I'd give them a go. Certainly wouldn't say no. If you can accelerate it and drive around in it, I'm usually pretty sold. If someone's got a cool fucking ride-on lawnmower, I'm interested. I used to row around in a inflatable swimming pool, and then yeah, tried to make a boat engine out of a strimmer and a fan. That went wrong. Well, sort of wrong. Wrong in terms of we didn't achieve our end goal, but it was pretty interesting. Check out Rob Dalm on YouTube. She's got 2,000 horsepower all-wheel drive RX-7. Yeah, it'd be a fucking absolute psycho. I wouldn't even know what it'd like. I'd like to go in something like that, because at that point you just... whatever grip the wheels can apply is really your limit, because that thing's going to light up just about every kind of wheel there is. But yeah, it must be insane to have something that's 2,000 horsepower. Like, the closest I've really been is... my M5 was 500 horsepower, and that thing was fucking crazy. And yeah, my brother's Nissan was about 450, but like I said, when the turbos kicked in, it's got to be ballpark similar-ish to like the M5. My mate had that Ford Anglia 105e that was basically a drag car, big fat drag tyres and all the rest of it. Yeah, but I've never been in anything that'd be like a 2,000 horsepower car. Rebel got mine for 29,299.50. Is that, yeah, the Toyota was it CRH? Brilliant, 90k. Is that what the car's going to cost? What car is it, if you don't mind me asking? That, like I say, it's one of them though, you just sort of got to weigh up. Like, even, again, it's just one of the main cars, or it's like the only car that I bought on finance. It was like a really big sort of purchase, so to speak, as far as cars go. But when I got the M5, it was like, made sense at the time, because as I said, bills were pretty cheap and all the rest of it. But then when I moved, it just, yeah, didn't make as much sense. I eventually, yeah, sold it. Brilliant. Dodge Hellcat, yeah, well, now I'm already kind of automatically on the side of it probably is worth it. By pure chance, I was watching a video earlier on YouTube, and it was someone in a Dodge Hellcat, and a police woman walked up to his door and was like, "Get out of the car," and you can't hear what he says back, but it was something along the lines of, "Yeah, go fuck yourself," and then just floored it off down the road. I'm not saying I encourage such behaviour. I certainly wouldn't be doing that, but I'm not going to lie, it was pretty funny. Yeah, a Dodge Hellcat is that, but again, like, how much are you going to use it, all the rest of it? Could you go and rent a Dodge Hellcat and just, you know, thrash it around on a racetrack for a day, that sort of thing, and get it out your system a bit? I'm not saying that is the right thing to do, but you know what I mean. I sort of think now, even if I had the money, would I want to go and buy, say, a Lamborghini? Part of me is like, I'd probably rather just, yeah, rent someone else's Lamborghini on a racetrack and thrash it around on the racetrack, and then at the end of the day you can go, yeah, here you go. Good luck replacing the tyres and clutch and engine and fucking everything else that I've just cooked. But people that rent them out on racetracks, obviously, what else do you expect? I'm not going to rent it at a racetrack to, you know, go 30 mile an hour and obey all the traffic laws as if I'm on the road. I'm sure it'll be fun. I was drag racing in my 300 today. Idiots always think they can take my lane. The 300, is that like a Chrysler 300 or a... Yeah, or I don't know, yeah, Nissan 300. Either way, sounds good. I agree, people thinking they can take your lanes. Can never stand for that. Borough Mega mandatory buyback soon enough. Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me. I'll just, like, no. Not happening. I'm keeping, like, my old M-Tech 1987 E30 325. Yeah, I'm keeping it. They can fuck off. Worst case, I'd have it in my room. I'd have it in the kitchen. Like, that's not even a joke. When I had my caravan, I was genuinely considering, like, if there was a way I could remove one of the walls and drive it up ramps, I'd have it in my bedroom. And I'd obviously happily, like, it's not in drivable condition at the minute, it needs restoring and that, but yeah. I think it's a bit of a shame when you see stuff like a £2 million Koenigsegg Agera as someone's, like, wall art, but if I could literally drive my car into my living room and park it there for the night, I would. I don't need space for a sofa. I'd rather have a car there. I can sit in the car if I wanted to. A sofa, problem solved. But yeah, I honestly would happily just, yeah, be sat right next to my own car right now. Mac Dog, Brillinia, yes, 5.7 litre Hemi, yeah, it sounds, it sounds great. I'm already sold on the idea. Yeah, I'd use a lot of fuel if I had something like that, because the noise it makes the fuel worth it. Borough Mega, Texas shop came up with aftermarket model Camaro to answer back the Dodge, is that the Dodge Demon? Called the Exorcist. Yeah, on Top Gear over here they got what Richard Hammond had the Hellcat, James May had the Exorcist. What the hell did Clarkson have? He must have had like the Shelby or, you know, some like crazy version of the Mustang it must have been, I think. But yeah, the main two were like the Hellcat and the Exorcist that were racing each other. Again, like, pretty cool. I'd have plenty of them. If I was Elon Musk rich, I would soon not be Elon Musk rich. I'd be second-hand car rich. Brilliant, yeah. This is the one that runs on 4 cylinders until you put your foot in it, then the other 4 kick in. Yeah, which, again, see, that side of it is like all the eco side of it. I'm not anti it, because it's not a bad thing that if you're just cruising around in it, like, it only uses 4 cylinders, a bit less fuel, there's nothing wrong with that. The fact that you can put your foot down and then it goes back to 8 cylinders, you know, crackpot Dodge Hellcat, is like, that's perfectly fine by me. I will say again, to use my M5 as an example, you may as well go 150 odd mile an hour in it, because whether you're going 20 mile an hour or 120 then, it was drinking the same amount of fuel regardless, so it was like, fuck it, I may as well get to my destination quicker. But yeah, if, in theory, like, same idea, if that just turned 6 cylinders off in that case and just ran on the last 4 when you're cruising along in traffic, yeah, that's not a bad thing. As long as it's there when you need it, which these days with like how quick computer ECUs and all that shit is, it will be there the second you need it. So yeah, that's sort of works out either way. Hammond had a demon. Oh yeah, true. Yeah, that is true. I always, to be honest, kind of just say the Hellcat and the demon together. But yeah, no, you are right. He did. It was like where he had the little drag pack with it, where he had to take the front tyres off for like little skinny drag tyres and all that. So what is it then? The demon is the, I assume then technically even more power than the Hellcat. I think overall I'd probably go for the Hellcat anyway, even if money wasn't an object. Not that I'm anti like the demon thing. I just just Dodge Hellcat has got a nice ring to it. And yeah, I've seen enough Hellcats on YouTube and that to, it's definitely up my street. Rebel, I have that Grand Tour game. Oh dear, do you know, I think I might have seen it. I've definitely not got it or played it or anything. But for some reason, I don't know if it was in the PlayStation Store or something about it. I've seen it at some point. Brilliant. Demons came with a track box to convert it for a strip racing. Yeah, exactly. That's, I think on the Top Gear version, that's where they were going to race. Then yeah, the Demon and the Exorcist. And then they were just obviously making a joke of like, they're waiting there to race, and that Richard Hammond kept going, oh, now I've got to, because you can take like the center console in the dashboard out and put a different one in that's just got a button now that you press and it does, I don't know, yeah, it seemed a bit faffy, whereas I think the Hellcat is just the simple version. I think the Demon's probably a little bit too, yeah, drag racing like focused. Not that that's a bad thing, but you know what I mean. Especially living over here, I'd rather just have the Hellcat that's generally just set up to be a crazy car in general. I wouldn't really need something where I've got to change the tyres to like little skinny drag front tyres and all that. But again, I'm sure they're cool as fuck. If I know anyone that said, do you want to come and have a go in my Dodge Demon, they'd be like, yep, sold, on my way, be there in a minute. Hellcats now I think may be more powerful. Jailbreak's over 800 I think now. That's the other thing as well, is like once anything these days really hits like aftermarket, especially something in like the Hellcat kind of range, yeah, like people just go crazy with it. And again, I don't mean that in a bad way. It's like the latest Skyline, the R35. They obviously, when they originally came out, were like 550 horsepower, whatever. Nowadays, you see fucking 6, 7, 8, 900,000 horsepower versions. I think people just crank it up, stick a big turbo on it, or maybe in the Hellcat's case, would it probably be a supercharger or something? More likely, but yeah, either way, just, yeah, cool. Definitely, just nice stuff. Makes the right noises, goes the right speed. And that's it. And looks nice as well. They do look good, the Hellcats. And the Demons, to be fair, but yeah, just, to be honest, it is me, I just kind of merged them into one and only kind of mention the the Hellcat. Brilliant, yeah, but 2023, they will all be electric. What, even the Hellcat and stuff? It's definitely pretty bad how quick they're trying to, like, again, if they just left it as the free market and it sort of developed more into, you know, more range of electric vehicles, I'm cool with all that. But yeah, I don't like the side of it where we're all being like, you know, you've got to do it to save the planet. And yet they have a climate change meeting in Scotland or wherever it was. There was 1,500 private jets turned up to that meeting. So it's like, they don't give a fuck. They know they're not saving jack shit. They're just pretending that they are to, yeah, force it on everyone. Because the oil industry is moving over to the EV energy industry. So they're kind of making it, they're forcing us to follow at the speed that the richest people on the planet want it to happen. Which is where, yeah, I then don't like it, because it's not really free market shit, and it's now just being, like, forced, and they're trying to guilt trip everyone into it. When, as I said, they really should be focusing on making Tyrannosaurus Rexes and stuff far more important. Yeah, they announced it last week. Yeah, that's pretty sad to hear, man. That's yeah. Again, I'm sure in its own right, if it's a Hellcat and it's electric, I'm sure it's gonna be a nutter in its own right. But it's sad if it's like sort of the coming to the point where it's like the death of the internal combustion engine, where they're just forcing everything to go electric regardless. But again, that's why I'll hang on to stuff like my old Beamer for dear life, and yeah. Worst case, if they say you have to, like, mandatory buyback, like I said, I'll stash it, literally. I'll go and bury it. Like an illegal weapon. I'll go and dig a big fat hole in a field and park it in there. And then deny it. Say, nope, thieves stole it last week. Not that you guys have known, because you never solve a fucking crime in your life, so... yeah, that's what happened. Good luck finding it. In Australia, we have things called roll racing, and there's the guy out there with a 2,500 horsepower R35. Yeah, they can go like just insane with them things, and other things. But yeah, the Skyline R35 just seems to be a popular one for people making them go up to like 2,500 horsepower. You're basically talking like drag cars, like proper funny cars that are just they've done that on a road car. MacDog, it's insane. Yeah, that's definitely like I'd love to have a go in one sort of thing, or not even drive it myself, but just be a passenger. It'd be pretty cool just to see what it feels like. Yeah, that's what she said. Brilliant. Doubtless it'll be faster, but I can't get past the fake sound they had. Yeah, it's just stuff like that that makes me sick. It's like if you're gonna go EV, just embrace it and make the little like noise that it does when it sets off. I really don't want to be fed fake engine noises. It just really doesn't sit well with me. It's like my first car I ever had was a crappy Ford Escort, but it had a Cosworth spoiler on it and all the rest of it, and every now and then people say, oh, nice Cosworth, and it's like, I never ever once tried to play it off that it was, I was like, no, trust me, this is an insult to a proper Ford Cosworth. This is a fucking slow... It is what it is. Obviously I liked it because it was my first car and all that, but it's like I'm not going to sit there and try and make out that it is what it isn't. And yeah, it was just like, for the love of God, it is not a Cosworth. Do not compliment it for being one. And again, proper Cosy enthusiasts would know that for a start it was a 4-door, so it just definitely ain't. But yeah, it just the average person that's not particularly like car mad, but just go, oh, Cosy spoiler, nice Cosworth. And yeah, it was like, no. I wish it was a real Cosworth, but it ain't. When are you going to do when the power goes out? Yeah, me. Well, I don't know, but I know what you mean. I was saying this to someone the other week, that it could all just go off tomorrow. You never know. What would I do? I don't know. Probably have a wank first, and then think about it. And then... yeah, not a lot. I'd have to try and make a coffee, but then my kettle wouldn't work. My cooker is electric, so that wouldn't work. So then I'd have to start a fire somewhere to boil some water. And yeah, I know what you mean. Like, I agree. People don't think about it enough these days that everything could just go off tomorrow. No electric, no internet, just done. No shops open anymore, no banks. And they just say on the TV as a last emergency broadcast, you're on your fucking own, guys, good luck to you. Lost it in a boating accident, exactly. All the way to me, Beamer. So I tried taking it out on an inflatable swimming pool and it all went horribly wrong. Good luck finding it. Where were you? Have no idea. It was pitch black. Couldn't tell where I was. That's the thing these days. The coppers like want to solve that sort of shit. Like, it was a little bit reckless, but I seen a video earlier on YouTube where someone was trying to steal someone's car, and the owner of that car come running out of the shop and then fired a gun at them. And then obviously the video was like, oh, police want to talk to the guy who fired the gun, and it's like, why don't you go and talk to the thieving bastard that was trying to nick his car? And yeah, I do appreciate, strictly speaking, his gun etiquette was a little bit lacking, because where he was firing, like, there could have theoretically been someone behind what was going on in that. But you can see why people are just sick of it, because if the fucking police ain't gonna do any, like, get any criminals and that, they just go after law-abiding people, because they know law-abiding people will pay the fine and etc. Whereas they know, like, career criminal scumbags will just go, yeah, chuck me in prison again. And then they just release them a day later because they don't want to pay for them either. But yeah, law-abiding people, they absolutely fuck over every 5 minutes because they just know that, like that court letter they sent me, where, yeah, 3 weeks earlier I don't owe a penny, 3 weeks later they're saying they're taking me to court. I rang them up, argued it with them. The woman on the phone fully agreed, like, yeah, this letter's a load of bullshit. But in the end, I paid it because it's like, I can't even be arsed going to court anymore to fucking it's like more inconvenience to my life to go and argue that shit. So here you go, you fucking highway criminals, highway robbers, and then yeah, get back on with my life. Rebel, I start my generator. Yeah, that's true. I do need to get a generator. I haven't got one, but yeah, that'd be the logical plan in such a situation. But then you got to make sure you got enough fuel on standby to run it for like a decent amount of time. But if and when the world goes to shit and all the power and everything just goes off, you've really got to live. I know, as crazy as it sounds, you've got to live for like the first couple of months until most people die off because they haven't got anything like a generator on standby and blah blah blah. And then yeah, it'll be the first few months, if that are fucking insane. Because everybody will suddenly realise that they've got no food, they can't go to the shops. And yeah, that's when it starts getting crazy. When the world goes out every day. Sorry, when the power goes out. I was going to say, where did I get world from? It's in your name. Yeah, when the power goes out every day. Yeah, imagine that. Imagine if it just never comes back on, though. But in some play, they're already talking over here, but it's suspicious, because like, there's obviously energy prices and all that shit going up here. But they said the other month, oh, there might be a blackout in January where we have to turn the power off for 4 days. And it's like, how could you possibly know that already? And even if you do, why are you telling it to me and making it like our problem? Why don't you go and fix that issue so that there won't be a blackout? And that's what sort of is like when they bang on about climate change and all that. It's like, we pay you money to make it your problem, government. You go and fix the fucking problem. Every day they're moaning about it on TV to us. It's like, well, if you can't do it, then let's fire you and put someone else in the position that can, because we hand over a disgusting amount of money to make it your problem, not ours. And then they just collect all that money and then moan back at us like it's our problem again. And it's like, no. Well, I'll keep my own money then, and I'll solve the fucking problem. Or I won't, but you know what I mean. Still keep my own money. Brilliantly, I had a Toyota Celica GTS back in the 80s. That was fun as heck to drive. That's pretty cool. Celica GTS. I know roughly what you mean. I used to have a Celica. Was it the GT4? And yeah, it was when my dad died. It was his car. So then technically I suppose me and my sister got it, and then we ended up selling it to my older brother, and he had it for a while. And yeah, it was a great piece of kit. The other thing I really liked about it was random. I mentioned it before, but it had this little wind deflector kind of on the bonnet near the windscreen wipers and your windscreen and that. And when we were driving home once from, I think we'd been to the Isle of Man or something, up north it must have been anyway, we were coming home on the M6 and it was snowing, but we just wanted to get home, so we were going like about 130 at the time because the roads were dead. And yeah, but the great thing was, every other car I've ever driven, when it's snowing, obviously the snow comes down and hits your windscreen and you have to keep doing your windscreen wipers. For whatever reason, this little wind deflector thing that was on the edge of the bonnet, just, yeah, the snow didn't touch the window. Like, it all just whizzed up the window and never a flake ever touched the window. It just created some kind of like wind thing going on, more so than obviously normal though. And yeah, that's what basically why we're able to just go like 130. And it was in the middle of the night, so you could just tell that there was no other car anywhere. Like, you could see no headlights, no brake lights, no nothing. But it was the fact that that little deflector thing, we were just able to absolutely hoof it home, which probably got us like home an hour earlier than normal. And yeah, I consider that a win. It was a good result for me. Borough Mega, they won't buy / can't buy. Was that Russian? Is that, yeah, oil and that? Yeah, obviously, I think to a degree it's all staged, if you know what I mean. I'm not saying it's not happening, but yeah, we conveniently fall out with Russia and then prices go up and blah blah blah. Like, I don't give a fuck. I'll buy Russian oil today, if you know what I mean. It really doesn't bother me. It's, yeah, cheaper energy is cheaper energy. Russian gas turned off nuclear power. Yeah, I agree. Like, again, it's the same sort of shit over it. Eventually, people are going to kick off like fuck. They already sort of are, but this is what they do. They push their luck right up to the point where people are about to protest, and then they sort of dial it back a little bit. And that's how nations and that get away with certain things. Even in life, if you want to push your luck with someone, you keep pushing it until they're about to kick off, and then you ease off a bit, and then you push further again, and it's like, yeah. I'm not just saying that's what I do. Like, there's a whole psychology behind it. Like, yeah, in the sort of, that's what previous world leaders and all sorts, like, that's how they get to that's how you get from like 1920s Germany to, yeah, Nazi Germans that will, yeah, take a pregnant woman into the middle of a field and blow her brains out. But it doesn't just happen. Like, it's sort of a psychological, the way they do it step by step. I mean, they've done tests on experiments, like in universities and all sorts of stuff. There's an old famous one where they made half a university, or the people in it was like half were prison guards, so to speak, and the other half were prisoners. And the teachers were doing it on purpose to, again, slowly, step by step, sort of make them do worse shit. And they had to cancel the whole experiment early, because before long, the people who were playing the prison guards were being pretty sadistic to the people playing the prisoners. And it can quite easily sort of spiral into, yeah, some pretty crazy shit. Borough Mega Germany turning on coal plant, yeah, exactly. Which again, like, fire them up. If I can turn my TV on for less, then yeah, Polar Bear gonna have to suck it up and find a new fucking ice cube to sit on. There's enough ice anyway. What's he moaning about? But yeah, it is what it is. Obviously, strictly speaking, the money we've sent to Ukraine in the last month, send that to the polar bears and rescue everyone. Give them a polar bear ice cube hotel for every last one. Like, I'm not anti-animal. I'm the opposite, actually. I really, I don't like cruelty to animals at all. But yeah, when it comes to stuff like polar bears, just on principle, you make jokes about it because it's like, they just milk it for like their own gain. Not polar bears. About the fucking dickheads in charge. And they use that sort of shit as like manipulation. When they're not as well. There's more polar bears now than there was 10, 20 years ago, etc. So it's like the amount of ice in Antarctica. It gains ice every year, but then a bit breaks off and they'll make that world news, like, oh god, it's losing ice. But it's not. They just, yeah, manipulate it. Milgram prison experiment, is that the what? Yeah, it may well be. I'm not 100% sure, but it, yeah, Milgram does ring a bit of a bell. To be honest, I read about it bloody years ago, but yeah, I assume, like, you know what I'm on about, sort of like with how they, yeah, test. I mean, it's like I was saying to, it must have been my mum a few months back again, but sort of saying with like the government and all that. And it sounds like tinfoil hat stuff, but then I was like, you imagine even a film, like a fairly low budget film, every single extra in that film, every person you see in the background, is not just accidentally walked on the set. There's been a call made, you know, come in, we need extras, we're going to dress you up like this. That's how much focus they do on some random background extra in a film. When it comes to running a country, it's like, people who don't think there's rooms full of people that just sit there planning the best outcome for them, if you know what I mean, is like, it isn't tinfoil hat shit. It's, strictly speaking, it's sort of good business, but they're obviously very immoral about it and don't give a fuck. But you know what I mean, it's like, it isn't crazy conspiracy shit, it's just rich, wealthy people that are gonna tweak things their way to line their pockets even more. Polar bears are just moving in with their brothers, the grizzly bears. Yeah, exactly, they need to. But that's it, like, the rate of climate change, they can move. Like, yeah. Ice isn't melting quicker than a polar bear can move. And again, it is what it is, like, around the planet, there's been ice ages, heat waves, warm periods, all that throughout history. The medieval warm period, various ice ages, like, yeah, woolly mammoths didn't have their own industrial revolution and have too many mammoth barbecues. It's just the climate changes, like, over years, thousands of years, millions of years. You've got, like, the sun, solar cycles, like solar minimum, solar maximum, they're on, like, 11-year cycles. And there's other cycles within that. There's all sorts of shit. Like, the climate's going to change whether you have a light bulb on or not, basically. But they're going to make out, whilst they fly around on 1,500 private jets for a meeting about it, they're going to tell everyone else that you should feel bad for having a light bulb on. And, yeah, I don't agree. Omega, telling homeowners to burn wood. Worse than coal. Yeah, true, it probably could be. Do you know the funny thing with coal? I know this is random, I'll probably say this as the last thing before I leave, but all the coal on the planet, I could be slightly off on the numbers, but it's between about 730 and 740 million years old, all the coal in the world. And the reason why, and how they know it is because before 740 million years ago, trees didn't exist, and then when trees first started existing, there was no mushrooms and fungus and all that that had taken advantage of eating dead trees that had fallen over and whatever. So then trees started growing, falling over, nothing was eating them, and then obviously over millions of years they'd get buried and blah blah blah, and then you end up with coal. But then, say 730 million years ago, so like 10 odd million years after trees started existing, funguses and mushrooms and that figured out how to eat the dead trees. And then suddenly, you know, fungus and everything became a thing that would then eat the trees before they'd all kind of pile up on top of each other. And yeah, 750 million years later be coal or whatever. But yeah, I just thought it was pretty random, like all the coal in the world is kind of from that small window where trees existed but mushrooms didn't yet that could eat them when they're dead. Which I thought was pretty interesting. Politicians create wars to protect themselves from the wrath of the citizens. Yeah, it's true. It's like divide and conquer. That's why they stoke up every kind of division they can, because, yeah, they don't want everyone agreeing that they're a bunch of arseholes. So they want everyone else, like, yeah, just arguing amongst themselves over random stuff. Was that Dustin Adolphson? Lol, what did I miss? Just joined all sorts of stuff, to be honest. Well, yeah, we've gone everything from cars to the climate to usually the government is arseholes as a general theme. But like I said, I'm not even like on either side or whatever. I just, yeah, I think they should make Jurassic Park. I'm sick and tired of waiting for it. Rebel by choice. The world needs another January the 6th. It wouldn't surprise me when you think there's like something, because there's, especially with the price of like, yeah, oil and energy and all that. Like, after COVID and all the rest of it, people just ain't got anything left. And that's when people start to take it really seriously. Like, even in the modern world, it's hard to, you think like civil wars, it was probably pretty easy to be like, yeah, fuck it, let's have a civil war in 1600, because it's like, what else are you going to do? Stare at your candle and get cholera and shit your pants, that's about it. So you're like, fuck it, let's go to war. But yeah, these days it's like life's very comfortable to where it's like no one obviously wants war or anything like that. But you're getting to the point where enough people are going to start losing their homes and everything. Yeah, it's going to start kicking off. A real one though, yeah, that's true, because I must admit that January the 6th was staged as fuck. Was that like Mike Epps or Rich Epps or whatever that was apparently there grassed on everyone? But yeah, there's a load of dodgy shit about that. People were calling it, I seen it and said the same, it was a setup before it ever happened. Like, loads of people were saying, don't go, because it'll be a setup. Noob girl, Wolf for Prime Minister of the UK. It's true. The thing is, probably make it like, I don't know. I have zero desire to fucking. I wouldn't want to be around those kind of sneaky backstabbing snakes all the time. But I'm not power hungry. I have no desire to rule over anyone and all that shit. Which, yeah, is like, I'd never get there, if you know what I mean, because I'd never try. But I'm not saying, like, I could certainly run it better than them, just based off a fucking potato that's been thrown at a wall. Could run, I don't know, actually. It was Biden, I suppose. But yeah, you know what I mean. Like, you just got to not be ruthless, and you could run it better than them by default. But yeah, other than that, I have no desire or shits to give. They've run it like this for a lot longer than people realise, and it'll probably get ran like this for a lot longer than, yeah, long after we're been and gone. Like I said, that's part of the reason that I want to get buried now, just on the off chance that in 1,000 or so years some government arsehole has to fill out a form before they're allowed to dig me up. And that I will wait that long. I'll play the long game when it comes to that sort of shit. If Wolf is Prime Minister, I'm moving to UK. That's true. We'll make free petrol for a start. Free Dodge Hellcats. And then bankrupt the whole place. Boa Omega, Bojo might be next PM of Ukraine. Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me. You never know with them lot. I'm sure he'll be riding off into the sunset with another billion odd in his bank. It's like that Zelensky though. He's apparently worth over $1 billion, and it's like from being a comedian in Ukraine. Doubt it, because yeah, if you added up like the top 20 best comedians of all time anywhere, they probably wouldn't get close to $1 billion. So yeah, it's all a bit sketchy. That's why I'm not for either side. I appreciate war is war. I'm not pro-war on any sense anyway, so I fully appreciate there's people, Ukrainians, that are having a shit time because it ain't their fault, they're just trying to live their lives. There's also Russians having a shit time because they just happen to be of that age where they're in the military and then now they're sent off. And yeah, it's all a bit of a fucking shit show sort of thing, but I think it's all being played up as well for, yeah, the usual suspects win from it always. Don't do it, the dark side will eventually get you. All politicians get to the dark side at some point. True, I know what you mean. I'd sort of say true. I'd like to believe I never would get to that, because I'm pretty sort of not like stubborn in that sense. I'm sure like everyone is, but I'd beat myself up more than anyone else possibly could if I sold out to that, if you know what I mean. So, like, to the point I literally don't think I'd be able to live with myself. More than anyone could be like, oh, you fucking backstabbing scumbag and all that. It'd be me in my own brain. Like, I already have insomnia and all sorts. The last thing I'd need to do is be a backstabbing sneaky little snake fucker, because then I really would never sleep. And then I'd just die from no sleep. Like, but I get what you mean. Like, certainly you think, yeah, if someone knocked on your door and said, here's 10 million quid to look the other way, it's certainly going to be difficult not to, for, well, I'd say all people, but I think, yeah, like, the people who tend to head towards not just politics, but power and all that in general, I think are already of that mind that they'd be willing to sell their soul for a bit of dough, whereas I'm not saying it's just me. I think there's a lot of people that wouldn't. Put it this way, I don't think I'd fall to the dark side, but I think they'd kill me and remove me for not succumbing to the dark side, if that makes sense. Like, some people that JFK got shot in the head and shit, he wasn't going along with the program. Like, it doesn't matter what scale of life you're in, you either go along with them or they'll remove you. And I would get removed just out of principle. Like, they're killing me. I could live with that. More than I could live with being a, yeah, sneaky little snake. Power corrupts all. So they say. Like I say, I'm personally have no desire for power in the first place, but yeah, like, again, I know what you mean. I'm not trying to pretend like I'm fully immune to it, but I sort of like to think that when it comes to, yeah, like, kind of selling your soul and your principles type of thing, that I'd rather keep, yeah, what I've got than whatever they're offering. Either you match them to keep them out of power, or they end you to get the power. Yeah, that's it, and that's what had happened to me. So I'd never make it to anything like that, and again, have no interest in doing so. I've been interested in all that sort of shit for a while, but I learnt a long time ago that, yeah, there's a lot of corrupt shit going on in the world. It has been for thousands of years. It will carry on for thousands more. You're best off kind of knowing that they're sneaky fuckers. Don't trust them, but other than that, it's just like, get on with your life and enjoy your own shit, because you can sit there getting mad all day long about the kind of shit they're up to, but someone's going to do it. As crazy it is on the other side of things, you got talking about like superpowers and nation, like the top nations in the world. The people at the top have got to be sneakier than the rest of the world, otherwise they wouldn't be on top, if you know what I mean. So if there was some utopian little country that's just like, yay, we're going to do everything completely legit, they'd get eaten in 5 minutes by the corrupt big fish. So yeah, it's just not a world I'd be good in. It just is what it is. I wouldn't be good at like a fucking Pablo Escobar, like a big drug dealer or a gun runner, because yeah, sell a kilo of cocaine and then they'll be like, oh, I'm not giving you the money for that, and it'd be like, well, shit. I don't want to get punched in the face or die over it, so fuck it, keep it. I'm out of here. So yeah, it ain't my world, that sort of shit. I wouldn't last 5 minutes in it, I assume. You need a conscience and a spine to be a good politician, or just a good person in general. Yeah, exactly, I agree, and I think most of them lack spines. I think they kind of encourage that in that genre. Not just that, there's like, you can say on a smaller scale, like certain businesses, some people at the top of businesses are just, yeah, ruthless, corrupt, couldn't give a fuck. But there are some people that run companies that do it with a genuine level of, like, yeah, principles, considering, again, you got to still operate within, like, you're in a competitive environment, you got to do what you got to do to stay a profitable business or whatever. But there's there's plenty of people that run businesses that could be even more ruthless and cracking the whip and profitable about it, but they're not, because yeah, they also understand like the concept of humans and life and enjoying yourself and all the rest of it. And there is more to life than squeezing every penny you can out of somebody, which, yeah, I think most of, not I assume all of us, but I mean like most people in the world get that. But it's the ones that don't that tend to flock towards positions of power. It's like police and that. You get sort of roughly two types of police. You get the ones that are trying to be like theoretically principled around it, like, oh, I want to uphold the law and stuff, and then you got the other one that just, yeah, probably got bullied at school. They want to be a bit of a bullying, power hungry bastard now, and then they sort of, yeah, play it that way. We need Churchill and Teddy Roosevelt back to make a comeback, or maybe Genghis Khan and Vlad. Yeah, you never know. Anything's got to work better than what's going on at the minute. But again, for the most part, I just ignore them and get on with my life. Because, yeah, like I say, you could waste your whole life sitting there fucking protesting with a sign or whatever. Whatever you're going to do is, like, the way the world runs is such a bigger thing than any one person, or even any group of people. Like, yeah. It's pretty ruthless, if you know what I mean. It's the real deal. Like, they make the mafia look like kids. Yeah. No one, you ain't going to stop it like that sort of thing. The way they'd stop it is they'll do something and fuck themselves up. Like, they'll end up inventing a weapon that annihilates, like, everybody, regardless. Probably like some AI technology, or yeah, nanovirus technology, that sort of shit. But until then, enjoy the ride. You never know, could get smacked by a giant meteorite tomorrow and we'll be dead anyway, because let's be honest, they ain't gonna tell us. So it could all be over tomorrow, but I hope not. So yeah, don't live every day like it's your last. But do, but don't don't put all your eggs in the basket of like you ain't going to be here tomorrow. But at the same time, yeah, enjoy every day like it's your last, because you might not be here tomorrow. You never know. Thank God for games. That's true, yeah, exactly. I love playing games, I love flying around in a loaf. This goddamn horse of a vehicle. Yeah, well, there's a good old random ramble at the end. It's got to be done. Yeah, I'll leave it there though. I'll say bye, because I did about half an hour odd ago, and then I went for a ramble. But yeah, I appreciate everyone popping in. And like I said, well, it's good news now. The PTS thing will be out on Tuesday or whatever. Obviously, I'm not on PC, so I can't play it at the minute or anything. But yeah, that's one step closer to us getting it on console. So yeah, fingers crossed in the next month-ish, 4 to 6 weeks or something. Yeah, Phase 8 is out and I can get on with that. But I'll most likely do a live stream next week. Worst case, if I don't know, it'll say like be one the week after or whatever. But I was going to say I'll probably carry on, yeah, with this Hope County map, because it's pretty cool. Rebel, have a good morning. Yeah, I appreciate it, guys. Again, yeah, there was a bit of a random ramble at the end, but yeah, I appreciate everyone popping in and saying hello and chatting away. MacDog, bye. I appreciate it, dude. Enjoy the rest of your day or night, whatever you're up to. Bo Omega, bye bye. Is that Longer Wolf? Yeah, that's what she said. MacDog, have a good day of whatever. Yeah, I appreciate it. I'm going to go for a giant, massive piss. Then I'm going to have something to eat. And then, yeah, I don't know after that. But yeah, I will. I'll enjoy it. Rebel, start a new game again till 8 comes out. I would, but the only part is, because I'm going to do most of it like on video, I'll have to do all the same bits where I have to go and get like the gearboxes and engines and all that again. It's that if I could cut out the upgrades, I'd be a lot more willing to start another one. But yeah, never say never. It's one of them, maybe after Phase 8 and all that, that might be a way to go until they bring out Year 3 if they're looking at doing that. But yeah, anyway, until next time, yeah, again, enjoy whatever you're doing, whether it's day, night, or whatever time of the day it is. And yeah, I'll be back pretty soon. Oh yeah, and just quickly, yeah, the crocodile review, not guaranteed, but that's the next project I'm kind of on. But like I said last time I went to start it, yeah, my memory was full. Just drive and talk. That's true. Again, like, sort of never say never. I'm potentially interested in doing it at some point, so it might be something to, yeah, restart one in the future. Yeah, right, I'm going to hit the button, but again, thanks to everyone for popping in. Enjoy the rest of your day, evening, and your week and everything, and yeah, I'll be back soon.